just a game. They're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. I mean, we just had some incredible AM hockey on Sunday. Now we're getting some AM football. The Detroit Lions heading over to Germany. We find that out this morning. We had speculated it for a long time that once the Lions had their international game, it was going to be in Germany to pay homage to Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's a country to spend his summers in. It's his mother's home country. That gets confirmed this morning. I want to jump into that and tell you why I'm excited about it. But first, as always on Tuesdays, Dylan Clark, the Saginaw Spirit, is here. He made fun of my mini cup and asked me what I was drinking.
Not make fun of it.
You made fun of it a little bit.
Oh, no.
Can we hear Dylan?
Is my mic on?
There it is.
I did not make fun of it.
You were like, why is your cup so small?
Well, I
was like, I need an espresso shot.
Well, more than
You're
anything,
making fun of me with a gas station coffee.
More than anything, I could tell it was a little rough around the edges and it was a bit lopsided. Is that a DIY cup? Actually, at first, I thought it was the little sleeve that goes around to protect your hand from the extreme temperatures of the heat. And I'm like, how are you drinking out of that? There's no bottom. But it is a.
What if I just never explains that it was a mini cup?
If this is a whole bit, I appreciate the ingenuity more than anything.
Dylan, you're here representing the Saginaw Spirit. True. How did the last week or so go since the last time we talked?
Some mixed results. Honestly, Thursday was the best night of the week by far. Little come from behind victory against Sudbury. It took 56 and a half minutes for us to find the back of the net, but they did, and it was Dimi Jokin getting the job done. And then 10 seconds left in the game, Blake Barnes scores his first OHL goal to win things there, and that was a great moment for him. Mom and Dad were in the building, coming down from Sarnia to see. Now they travel for almost every, if not every game. So it was good to see them see their son get his first OHL goal.
Hold on, timeout.
Yes.
How we need to talk about the Olympic hockey game on Sunday morning really quick.
Of course.
Where were you when you watched this?
I was in my office, at my desk.
At your desk?
Yeah.
What were you doing at work on a Sunday?
Because we played at 5:30 that day. So usually I go in on a game day. I go in at 9. I got to get all of our stat packs and all that kind of stuff together. And then the rest of it is just my prep for my stuff on the broadcast side of things. But we played at 5:30 that day, so that moved things up a little bit. And I knew that they were playing at 8 o'clock, so it just made sense. So I had it up. I got 2 screens. I had the game up on one and then all my work on the other, and then I realized that I was getting no work done, so I had to minimize the game and just listen to it. And then anytime anything sounded like it was happening, I would stop and look over it. It was not a very efficient way to do things, but that's one of those things I remember I was wishing that I could just watch the game selfishly.
You're telling me you weren't even like, I'm putting work aside for a second. I'm just going to watch this
when
game.
they took that double minor at the end of regulation too, I was like, okay, we're gonna focus on this. But for overtime I was locked in. But I was thinking to myself, like, I wish I could dedicate all my full attention to this all game long. But no, I mean, everybody's got that story where they were and what they were doing for that game. So mine was getting ready for one hockey game and watching another.
Yeah, I thought the 8 a.m. start made it somewhat special. Like, if it was on in the middle of the day or even like a Sunday night primetime slot, I don't really think it would have been as, like, you literally had to set the alarm to wake up. And you would have been up regardless. But for a lot of people on a Sunday morning, you sleep in. I set an alarm, 7:45, get up for this game. It was an event. Yeah. I thought that made it special because we have such few events that take place that early in the morning. Lions playing football, going to be one of them this season. But watching that game in the morning, there was something about it that I can't quite put my finger on, but it's just so out of the ordinary that we were watching it as soon as 8 o'clock that it made for one of those games. Like you said, you'll never forget where you were watching it.
It was funny. I see all the stuff on Twitter and social media, like everybody's like, oh, I see all these people complaining about getting up early to watch the game. Get over it. That's all I saw, though. Like, I saw the people complaining about the complaints. I never saw the actual complaints about the game being at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it was fine. It was great. It's something a little bit different, something to mix it up. Now, would I want to play all of my games at 8 o'clock?
That was my next question.
No, I do not like. So the earliest that we've had games is 11. We'll go play school day games in like Sarnia or Windsor.
Yeah, that's what we'll do here
I don't like the 11 a.m. starts. I mean,
No?
it's great for the kids. It's great from a fan standpoint and for the people that the game is for. It's great. From an operations standpoint, it's a little tough. It's a little taxing.
As the on-field host, it's pretty fun. You got the 7,000 kids in the arena.
Yeah.
Coming out to WWE music?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was the in-arena host for the kids' game, yeah, it'd be my favorite too. But I'm not. I'm the broadcaster, so I have to get up and
Got to be more efficient.
I got to get my
like John.
I got to get my game preview out at like 6 a.m. if we have an 11 o'clock game. So
Early games are terrible.
early games they're not my favorite. We had
I pretend I like them.
The Monday after, yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Like you got to pretend you can't. Like I am enthusiastic and genuine 95% of the time. The only times I really have to fake the enthusiasm is the 11 o'clock starts. Like, oh, it's a great morning for hockey. I'm like, come on, not today.
Yeah,
Not
once you
today,
get into the game, you're fine.
That's
but
yeah. But for the opening for pregame and all that kind of stuff, you're just like, all right, let's go here.
But then you have your whole day to kind of do whatever you please. I guess if it's a Tuesday or something, you still got to wake up in the morning. But I don't know. In my mind, like the 8 a.m. on like a Friday, that'd be so nice. Then you just have the whole day going into the weekend.
Yeah, then I'm just on the bus the whole rest of the day, though.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's good. I like it. I liked it for the event, for the Olympics, obviously. The occasional school day game is not bad. It's not a real complaint. It's a joke complaint. It's a great time. It's always a great atmosphere because they always pack the building full of screaming kids, and people complain that it's hard to hear, but it's like you're at a hockey game. That's the point. It's supposed to be hard to hear. So, no, it's great. It's a lot of fun. But we've got 2 games this week that both start at 7:05 p.m., so that's a little bit more par for the course.
There we go. Not too many home games left for the Saginaw Spirit.
No, 5, if I am correct, and I am. Yeah, so we got 2 more. We got Thursday, Saturday this week, and then we got 3 in the month of March, and that's it. So right now, sitting at 7th place. To be honest, you asked me how last week went. I had a couple of chances to really cover some ground, like played at Sudbury, who was in 8th place in the East, and won that game. That's what I was talking about, the Blake Barnes game winner. And then Saturday, Sunday, Sarnia and Guelph. That's the 9th place team and the 6th place team in the West. So you're trying to keep Sarnia behind you, and you're trying to catch Guelph, and they couldn't pick up wins either against either one. So I think that's probably. I mean, I'm gonna go to practice today and do some interviews and talk to some guys and find out for sure. But I think that's probably a weekend that might sting a little bit more than some of the other ones. I keep doing that. We played the Sarnia Sting, and I keep accidentally making like Sting puns. I've done that like 4 times this week. But I think they'll shrug it off, and for one reason or another, whenever they kind of drop one against a team that they probably should have had, they put the pieces back together, and they sometimes beat the doors off of a team that's one of the top spots in the league. So that's who they got this week. They got Ottawa from the East coming on Thursday, and then the Peterborough Petes come on Saturday, which is our Hockey for the Homeless night. So those are 2 teams that have already locked up playoff spots in the Eastern Conference and have looked really good. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but you know what? Sometimes you need a little bit of a look in the mirror, and maybe that's what this past weekend kind of provided this team.
Yeah. Klepov still leading the way in terms of total points in the OHL?
Well, yeah, and this is really for the first time. He's been close, kind of going back and forth with Nathan Aspinall and Flint, but another multi-point outing. He's got more than anybody else on this team. 81 points on the year to lead the league, and he's a rookie. Now, he's a 17-year-old rookie instead of a 16-year-old, but still, it's his first year of competition in the OHL. He's in his draft year, and again, I haven't recalculated the points since the weekend, but January 16th was when the midterm rankings came out for NHL Central Scouting, or January 12th, sorry. He was ranked 16th among North American skaters. And since that time, and I believe it's still the case, but this was the case about a week and a half ago when I fully tallied everything up, he was the leading draft-eligible point getter in the OHL by a good bit, and top 3 in the league in scoring in that time. Now he leads the league in scoring for the entire season. So all that tells me that I think by the time the final rankings come out, and it won't be until after playoffs are all buttoned up, Memorial Cup and all that, it'll be, I think in the couple of weeks before the draft, if he continues this, I don't know just how high he could potentially get on the draft boards. Like, he's just solidifying himself more and more as a first-round NHL pick. So, and, not to be overshadowed what Igor Barabanov's doing. He's in 6th in league scoring right behind Klepov. So those guys got kind of split up. I know Chris Lazary wasn't thrilled with some of the play, so he split up Zhilkin, Klepov, and Barabanov. They all got their own line, and selfishly, I enjoyed that just because it was a different look. You get to see how those guys do with a mixture of other players, and it forces them to think a little bit differently because you have that non-verbal connection with the other two guys on your line that you've been playing with for so long. Well, now they're not there. It forces you to think and move a little bit differently, and I think it led to some pretty cool goals for us. So we'll see if they're put back together here for this week. But what he's doing, what all three of those guys, Zhilkin, Klepov, and Barabanov, are doing is great. And I think we're well on our way to another year and another really high first-round pick for the Saginaw Spirit at the NHL draft.
So in terms of the 5 games that you guys have left, I'm looking at the promos that you guys got coming up in case someone's looking to, come to one of these games trying to decipher which one. You've got 99 Connect Night, which you've told us about a couple of times. You've got Hockey for the Homeless Night, which I want to hear more about. We've got Mental Health Awareness Night, another 99 Connect, and then an Overage night?
Overage player. So you can have 3 overage players, and that's our last home game of the season. We honor the OAs. You can have 3 overage players that are 21. They can turn 21 at some point in the year, whether it's they're 21 to start the season or they turn 21 at the end of it. Right now, James Go is the only overage player we have. Nick Sema, who's going to make his return with the Ottawa 67s on Thursday as they come to town. And Sebastian Gervais was the other one, but traded to North Bay. So James is our only OA. So we'll tip of the cap for him because it's his final regular season game at the Dow Events Center. And, James has played getting up close to 300 games in the OHL, and the pretty good majority of those has been with Saginaw and won a Memorial Cup. So it'll be good to see a little send-off for James and say thank you to him. But Hockey for the Homeless Night coming up this Saturday. Dan Streeter and the folks at the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan will be there. They're doing their pregame broom ball tournament. I know that's always a great draw. I enjoy watching that. Are you familiar with broom ball?
No. Like what you play in the streets?
No, they play it on the ice.
Then no, I'm not familiar.
So I believe the original way it started many years ago. I think they dip the brooms in like some sort of plastic that kind of hardens them a little bit, and it's a ball, and you're running around on the ice, and you're essentially playing hockey. It's a very similar ball and stick game, except you're running on the ice, and when it's not the Hockey for the Homeless charity event, I've talked to guys that have played it before. They kind of like you blow each other up, and it's aggressive, and it's hard because you're running on ice in shoes. But it's a lot safer, the Hockey for the Homeless tournament at the Spirit game, because they're playing for charity. It's not your buddies in college just trying to kill each other. But it's always entertaining though. So we're excited to have those folks out there. We'll have the specialty jerseys that we're raffling off after the game, and all those proceeds, of course, going to the Rescue Ministries and all the great work they do for the homeless here in the community.
So if people want to attend one of the final 5 home games of the season, try to catch this Saginaw Spirit team in the midst of a playoff race, where can people get tickets?
SaginawSpirit.com. And I should also add, we're going to be honoring Dennis DeRosier on this Thursday against the 67s. We'll be hanging a banner for him and all the things he's done for Saginaw hockey. Not just the Spirit, but going all the way back to the Gears too.
Amazing. All right, you guys heard it here. SaginawSpirit.com. Dylan Clark, voice of the Saginaw Spirit, joining us every Tuesday. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Hopefully by the time we talk next time, Spirit moving to 6. Is that on the table?
It's on the table. It would take a lot, but maybe not by the next time we talk, but I think by maybe the time after that, a couple of weeks. Hopefully next time we talk, we got a little X next to our name, though.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Dylan Clark, voice of the Spirit, here with us as always on a Tuesday. All right, we found out this morning that the Detroit Lions were heading overseas, going to play in Germany, pay homage to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm excited for it. I'll tell you why when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Minute, the 9 o'clock hour. As always, is brought to you by our friends over at Iron Stack Technologies. Got to give a quick shout out to those guys over at IronStackTechnology.com is the way that you guys can find them. They help businesses solve real tech problems securely, efficiently, and without the headache. When your IT is working the way it should, everything else gets easier. Ironstack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can find them online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. I had this whole lead planned out. We were going to talk to Dylan, then we were going to talk about the Pistons game last night because Wemby invaded, and then the Pistons literally beat him up, and then he fought back, and he made it all about him in a good way, like in a way that a smart basketball player is supposed to do. And he took full advantage of this Pistons squad, even though the Pistons took it to him a little bit, specifically Jalen Duren. I had this whole thing planned out, and then at about 8:30, we find out Lions, they're going overseas. They're going to Germany. This isn't like – it's breaking news in a sense that today's the day we found out about it. But I will say there is some sort of – if you're tapped in, you knew the Lions were going to Germany. I thought they were going to Germany last season, this past year, and they didn't end up doing it. And it was like, okay, I guess we're just kicking this can down the road because the Lions are due for an international game. It's been 10 years, 11 years now since the Lions have played overseas. They played in London 2 years in a row, 1-1, beat Atlanta, lost to the Chiefs in 2015, and haven't played an international game since. So now with the Lions heading over to Germany, I've got a simple question for the fans. Do you believe that this is a win? Is this a fun experience to set your alarms, wake up, 9 a.m., boom, you're stressed out of your mind? And I have a feeling like it's not going to be some primetime matchup. Like they're not sending a divisional matchup over there. So like You're not playing the Bears. You're not playing the Vikings. You're not playing the Packers. That'd be very against the grain for the NFL. I'd imagine this is an intra-conference game, maybe probably against an AFC team. You're taking on Jacksonville. They live overseas. Some other team that isn't supposed to necessarily be contending. I don't know. I can pull through the Lions schedule and guess who it is, but that's mostly irrelevant for who the opponent is. I just simply want to know, do you think this is a win for the fans that are staying here in America? Because I personally love the morning games, but for reasons that I can't necessarily connect to the Lions. I love the morning games because it's perfect. Let's just throw on a bad football game as I'm waking up, starting my day, get ready for a Sunday, head to the gym, have it on the phone. It's just like a perfect background game to have on. However, now that it's a game that you got to kind of have to lock into, this is I got to make sure I'm up an hour early, moving around a little bit. I want to be awake and my brain active by the time 9 o'clock rolls around. I think that I'm actually going to have a very fun time watching this game. And then at about 12:30, boom, game's over. Lions hopefully already have a win, and you don't have to be stressed out the rest of the day. In my head, this is incredible. It's something I've been anticipating for a long time. I think there's probably some people out there that feel the opposite, where it's nope, rather just watch them at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock and not go against the grain. I don't want to wake up early. That's fine. I just think following what we had on Sunday morning with the 8 a.m. start for the Team USA and how amped up I was in that morning, where I didn't even think it was the morning anymore. Suddenly, I was in an abyss. I couldn't understand what time it was because I wasn't used to being that excited and having that much adrenaline and being that stressed out early on in the morning to where the game ends and I'm looking at the clock and it's 11:30. I still have my whole day. I think this is going to be extremely exciting. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown heading back to Germany makes it more so a Lions home game no matter who they end up playing. This is something that I've been looking forward to for a couple of years now, and now the Lions finally get sent over to Germany. Opponent TBD, week of the season TBD. Nonetheless, something that I'm looking forward to, Mr. Vicari, who's filling in for Kyle Sandel today.
Yeah, I mean, if it takes a home game, which I'm not sure if it is, I don't know if you know, it will take a home game away.
Yes.
So that's, not great for the fans. Lions
season ticket prices might go down though because of it.
Yeah, okay. In what world? They're contending. Why would they go down? And they're one of the hottest.
Because they have one less ticket. You can't justify that price.
Why?
But neither you are our season ticket holders. So let's just put that aside.
No, but just going to a game as a one-off for us, right? It doesn't change unless it's the Giants for me. Because it's Lions hosting Giants this year again, second straight year. So
that honestly could be the game.
I would hate that.
Why?
Because
so you don't want your team over in Germany?
No,
ever.
I never do. Never do. So from that angle, that's what I was going to bring up.
You
When
hate
the Giants, no, I hate football not at a time I like.
But you do hate the Brits.
All right, easy. No, I get that the NFL is trying to expand the game. I get
ducking my question.
I get it. I am. But no, it's our sport, man. I want to watch it when I want to watch it. But I get it. I get the expanding into different countries, and this one at least has a connection that's built in. It's not just two random teams. It's all right, one of the Lions' primary stars, Germany, right? From Germany. Dad was right. I think
dad from Compton, mother from Germany. Grew up summers in Germany.
That's awesome. So with Amon-Ra there, that's cool. Like it was for Sunday for the USA Olympic team, this will be obviously, adopted by fans. It'll be a fun one-off. Oh, what are you doing for the morning game? Are we watching? Are we going to a bar? Are we going to North Social? Kyle says in the YouTube chat that we should go just to Germany. I'm all for sending you to Germany. With a content phone and just being there. I'm good. If they put a game in Italy, I'll go. But Germany, I'm all right. But yeah,
this has Lions Saints written all over it. I pulled up their schedule. This has
Tyler
Lions
Shook.
Saints. This has Lions
There's your punishment, Germany.
Lions Titans. Actually, this has the making of a Germany game of the Lions just beating the piss out of an opponent. Because honestly, rather than sending two crappers, I think the goal for the NFL when they go overseas is to kind of send a beatdown. Like, send over a team that has some world beaters that can make some explosive plays and be like, this is what the best we have to offer, and let them go cook another team. It's one thing to go give an awesome game to London, but how often are they going to send two really good teams? Like, they're never going to send two title contenders to London. So the one-off would be, okay, you're either going to send two mediocre teams or just send one really good team and one crapper, let the really good team beat the piss out of them, and all of a sudden there's a ton more fans over there. Like, I already think this is going to be an extension of a Lions home game, as much as, like, the people from Michigan aren't going to be able to attend for the most part unless you make a whole trip out of it. But, like, screw it. Just, like, let this be a David Goliath type of situation. Not even David Goliath. Like, let this be almost a fixed match where, not fixed in a way where it's screwed for the Lions to win, but, like, let them go kind of flex their muscles on one of the bad teams like Tennessee, and let everyone in Germany go fall in love with this Lions team because they look like the best thing they've ever seen.
Well, you talk about the Amon-Ra connection. Weren't the Wolverines supposed to play in Germany too, and they put the kibosh to that?
They were, yes.
So what's the connection with Michigan and Germany? Like, I get, all right, we have Frankenmuth near, Bavarian culture, I get that, but, like, what is there another connection that I'm missing that, like, the Wolverines have to go there?
They were going to give them a bunch of money. That's the connection.
Okay. So there you go.
The only reason that like got sliced off at the head was it was against Western. Like, if this was against East Washington or South Carolina, or not South Carolina, but like East Coast, like Coastal Carolina, I think this game still happens. I think people were so infuriated that it was two Michigan teams that play 2 hours apart on a bus going across the world to go play. That was the part that I think was frustrating for most people. Yeah. But yeah, they scrapped the Germany game for Michigan. Okay. And I think that was, same intention of send Michigan over there, let them go look like world beaters, and all of a sudden everybody in Germany is a Michigan fan. Mm-hmm. That should be the goal rather than sending two bad teams out there.
Yeah. No, and I mean,
for
the
like
NFL,
some stupid week 0 game.
Correct. The NFL wants to put its you can say best foot. Like, I don't think they intend, blowouts, and I think Jacksonville, London kind of just makes sense because of a team that has not a great following in America or just a small market, and let's grow their market. But yeah, I think
you're not going to get done with Jacksonville is kind of cool. Now it's like they kind of have a home crowd out there, I would think.
Yeah, there's real, like, that's their team because they get them all the time, which is awesome. Hey, if it's a one-off, great. If it's not, great. But my thing with this always is, I want to watch my NFL team at 1, 4, or prime time. Like, if this comes at the like they take a primetime game away because of it, or the Lions are
Giants don't have to worry about being in primetime.
Well, they always are, even no matter how bad they are, just because of market size. But, like, if that was the reason, it's like, the Giants won't be on Sunday night, but they'll be 9 a.m. on a Sunday. It's like, okay.
But in a way, it's not a primetime slot, but it is an island game where everybody gets their eyes on the team.
I don't agree with that. Like, we've always talked about that. Sure, it's on. I mean, it's the only game going, but it's not like a national television. Some of these games are on NFL Network.
It just sucks for the West Coast people. That's what it sucks for more. Yeah. If I was a West Coast Lions fan, those are the people that are getting screwed. I don't think that if you're complaining about getting up at 9 a.m. to watch football, if that's the worst thing you got going on, then find something else to complain about. If you're on the West Coast and you're complaining about getting up at 6 a.m. to watch football, your team, okay, then I guess I understand it a little bit more. But it's 9 o'clock. Wake up and throw your Lions jersey on, throw your Aiden Hutchinson jersey on. Let's roll. Let's go beat the piss out of the Giants or the Titans or whoever this ends up being. I mean, I think this is going to make for a really fun, and we can complain about it. Oh, we wish it was 1 o'clock. It's going to make for one of the more memorable games of the season. And isn't that all what we want anyway? Like, we just want awesome memories of these games where we can look back and be like, that was fun. That's what I feel like we will have forever with that United States game, and I think being in the morning played a huge part in that because it was like a calendar event. And now this is one of the most, I'm not going to call it one of the most important games of the season for the Lions because we don't even know who they play, but it is going to be one of the more memorable. Hey, remember when we played in the morning? Like, week 13. No, it won't be week 13, but like week 7, got that morning game. Like, that's now a factor in the season. I'm all for the wrinkle. The Lions have been thrown a ton of different challenges over the past 3-4 seasons since Dan Campbell has taken over. This is the one thing that the NFL hasn't thrown their way. They played on Christmas. They always play on Thanksgiving. They give all these primetime slots. There you go. Now you got one more thing to do that the NFL likes to do for their big markets, for the teams that people like watching. Go play in London. Go draw some fans out there. I think this is going to be a good time.
You know what I'm thinking to make it a good time for me?
Tell me.
I'm thinking I break into your apartment, turn off your alarm, and then you wake up in a panic in like the third quarter.
Oh, that wouldn't happen. My body would naturally wake me up. Ben, it is time to watch the Lions.
Wait, who's that talking?
My internal thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Wake up. Amon-Ra St. Brown is on TV. That's what would happen in my... And I'd go like this. And wake up.
Oh, The Undertaker.
Yeah. I probably... I think I'll go to bed so early on Saturday morning. Envision
Saturday night, yeah.
On Saturday night. Envision an 8-year-old on Christmas Eve who,
Wow.
like, at 7 o'clock is suddenly like, I'm ready for bed. I know I fought you, Mom and Dad. I'm going to bed every single day my entire life. But today, I'm really excited to go to bed because the quicker I go to bed, the quicker I get to wake up. That's going to be me the day before this game. There's going to be like some stupid Pac-12 football game on between Boise State and I don't even know who else is in the Pac-12
Utah
these
State.
days. Yeah, sure. Utah State. Sure. It's going to be on at 10 o'clock. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go to bed because the Lions play football at 9 a.m. Is this a win for Lions fans? Are you excited about this, or is this a big fat L? You'd rather them stay here in the States. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Minute. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, the siding looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the show, everybody. Lions playing at 9 a.m. in Germany. At least that's the safe assumption. I don't know why they'd ever change from that. It's always the 9 o'clock start here on the East Coast. I guess it's not confirmed, but I don't know why they would change that. So I asked the fans, do you think this is a win for you guys as a viewer that the Lions are going to be playing early on? I think this is exciting. I take Team USA on Sunday as an example. When you got to wake up early for a game, it's just so out of the ordinary that it leads to this unforgettable type of atmosphere. Therefore, I think it's a fun time. So with that being said, let's see the message line, what you guys have to say. 989-837-6125. Let's see. Jess says, true, this is my reason to travel to Germany and take some time to explore my homelands, maybe catch the game. See, this is fun. If you've always wanted to take like a trip to Europe or something, this is kind of an excuse to do it if you're a traveler. Like, why would you not go? If you've always wanted to go to Germany, have never had the reason to go, do it. This is like the perfect reason. Go have some fun and catch the Lions in action overseas and see what that crowd is like over in Germany. Munich. I think I'm saying that right.
What did you just call it?
What?
Oh, my God. I thought you were doing a bit.
Munich? How's that any different than what I said the first time?
It is way different.
Munich.
Are they going
Sounds
to
the
Munch?
same.
Wait, are they going to Munchie Land?
That's from Alice in Wonderland?
Munchkin
Wizard
Town?
of Oz. No, but to this person's point.
Are they going to Munich?
Okay. If to this person's point, if you want to travel and you have always wanted to go to Germany, I think this is kind of the perfect time to go. Now, Germany wouldn't be on my bucket list. Like, if the Lions were playing in Brazil or Italy or
Correct.
London, maybe I'd be a little bit more interested in going.
Out on London.
We know you're out on London, but for anyone else, like, if they're ever playing in a place that you want to go, this is a reason to go. Ken says this is only really for the fans that can afford to go. For everyone still in the States, kind of an L.
Sure. I mean, the Lions are
I don't know.
only if you can afford them too, right?
Here. I still think that if you're just like hanging out in the States watching this game, it just the 9 o'clock start's just going to be fun.
Yeah. Drink, you know, the saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It'll be 5 o'clock at 9 a.m. on a Sunday in November.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you can tap back into your like college Saturday morning version of yourself. It's like Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, crack the first one. Why not?
I mean, if you're a college student, this is the try not to go to bed challenge. You stay out, you do whatever your game is Saturday, right? Saturday night, stay up.
You ever do that in
Pull
college?
an all-nighter. No, I've never had the reason. My team never played at 9 a.m., and I wasn't crazy in the head. But
I don't think I've actually pulled an all-nighter since high school.
Okay.
I don't think I've done that in a long time.
The only time I've had to was moving stuff out of an apartment because I just had to, just because I was up against it. And it was terrible. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. So that's the only time I truly like pulled an all-nighter where I was up for like an entire night into a day.
Rob says, I'd be pissed if I was a season ticket holder. They already have X amount of away games that just adds another further away for a demographic that has no ties to the franchise. Disagreed. They have ties to the franchise because what Amon-Ra has done there. I think the Lions fans are going to be pretty shocked by how much support the Lions have from Germany, like in how much of a home game it is. So like, you're right. They're not the diehard. Well, I won't even say that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say the Lions Germany fans aren't diehard. Maybe they are. Like, who's to say? I think until we see them play over there, then like, I'm not saying they're like it's Ford Field, but they're probably just as passionate about Amon-Ra and the Lions as we are here, or at least in an adjacent sort of way.
I joked about it with you off air about like, you know, you guys went to Nord for the USA hockey game, and then there was people there also to watch Liverpool. And, you know, whatever. People who root for sports teams that don't play in their country and have to watch in different hours, they're diehard. Man.
Yeah,
I
good
mean,
point.
to do that, it's challenging. I mean, think about like if your favorite team, like the Pistons, had to play at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you didn't work in sports talk. Like, you're just like, oh, shoot, I have to do my job, but, like, on a monitor off to the side. Kind of like Dylan Clark was explaining in the opening segment. He was watching USA Hockey while also trying to make sure he was getting everything ready for a Spirit game day, and you're watching your team, you know, on a side monitor. You're not fully invested, but you're like, well, I can't miss this because I'm not going to tape it, and I'm, you know, not going to not go on social media the whole day. So people who do root for, you know, whether it be other countries rooting for American teams in the 4 major pro sports, or if you're, you know, European soccer fan or something like that, or cricket or F1. Yeah, I know some people, you know, college that wake up to watch F1, Formula One racing. I'm like, what are you doing? We got NASCAR, but
why would you watch either?
Wow.
Why would you?
Come on.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
There's people in our comments saying yesterday, hey, Jordan's NASCAR team won again. Talk about that.
Did it make for another? You know what the most viral moment from his NASCAR team winning was?
I know.
Chip says St. Brown speaks fluent German. The Lions will market the hell out of this game along with the NFL. The refs will call in favor towards the Lions. This is ultimately a win for the Lions in the win-loss column. I'll put it this way. I don't think the Lions are going to be sent to Germany to lose. They're going to set them up with a favorable matchup against a team that they should be big favorites against, so that the Lions, the home team in terms of who Germany's rooting for, it can be a feel-good story. I think there's no chance they send the Lions over there against a team that they think can beat them.
I push back on that only because it's the NFL. Other sports,
well, I'm
yes.
not saying they have no chance to lose. I'm saying they'll set them up to win.
I don't think that plays in. It's just the NFL. They know you're going to – if it's Lions, like you said, opponent doesn't matter. They could put a good squad or they could put the Titans. They're not worried.
989-837-6125. Hey, Pistons were in action last night. They went up against the alien, Victor Wembanyama. He took over that stadium in a way that I'm excited to tell you about. I was in attendance, and I want to tell you a little bit about my experience. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mint. If you're looking for workwear that works as hard as you do, you got to check out Thomas Trading Post. They've been proudly serving the Tri-County area for over 40 years, and when it comes to trusted brands and dependable gear, they know their stuff. In fact, they're the largest retailer in Carhartt in the area, which means the selection of stuff you want and the quality you expect is all in one place. Whether you're on the job site or in the field or just need durable everyday apparel, Thomas Trading Post has you covered. Stop in today just north of the Midland Mire and see why they've been your local favorite for more than 4 decades. That's Thomas's Trading Post, built for work, built to last.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. Yesterday, I made it a priority to go see my guy Victor Wembanyama and my guy Cade Cunningham. And if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. So I've been wanting to see Victor since his rookie season. I found out about Victor maybe 2 years before he got drafted because I'm an NBA guy. I'm a basketball head. I remember watching this guy's games when he was 17 years old, like 2 years removed from the draft. Just like, who is this guy? This guy is not real. He's not a real human being. I remember waking up like super early and watching some of his games. So I didn't see him his rookie season. I promised myself I'd see him the next year, and he ended up getting the blood clots injuries late into the season, so he didn't end up playing. So I was like, you know what? No matter what day of the week it is, I need to go see Victor Wembanyama. I want to go see my guy Cade, and it's going to be a good time. And, like, there was just, for a Monday night, and I know the Pistons are in first place, but for a Monday night, for the crowd and the energy in the building to be as packed as it was and electric as it was, that is reminiscent of a championship caliber team and atmosphere, one that has earned the opportunity to have that sort of crowd on a Monday rather than stumbled into it because of the opponent. There was a lot of factors. There was a lot of Wemby fans, but we sat down, had a bite to eat, and you walk into the arena, and it's just, you can't miss this guy. He is a head taller than everybody else on the floor. He stands next to the officials, and it's just, it's nothing, you've never seen anything like it. He checks into the scores table, and it's like he's taller, like his waist is ahead of it. It's so bizarre. It'd be like if this table was just to my lower thigh. It's the weirdest thing you'll ever see. So they flash his name up on the thing for the starting lineups, and the lights go down. It's like, oh my God, the aliens have invaded, because that's his nickname, the alien. They have invaded this place. He is here. He has arrived, and there's nothing we can do about it now. Well, the Pistons had a plan, ladies and gents. The Pistons had a plan against this 7'5" phenom, and it was to beat him up, literally. Every chance the Pistons had in the first 5 minutes of the game, tight end chip block. Just, he walks by, he's coming to set a screen, and it was a full ramp up to him and hit him as hard as you can. That was the game plan. We're going to wear this dude down, hit him over and over again, like a tight end chipping down on a defensive end. That was what it was every time they had the chance to do it. And it started pissing him off. And once they went to the media timeout and came back from it, he started to recognize, like a very smart basketball player would at 22 years old, he recognized, I'm going to make this all about me then. If this is how they're going to play me, I'm going to take advantage of it and use it against them. And I don't think he started flopping necessarily, but he did start putting his hand up and letting everyone know that he was getting hit. I don't think it was a flop because he was getting trilled, but he made it all about him, and the refs started to call some of these fouls. And in between the whistles, they're hand fighting. Jalen Duren and him are shoving each other a little bit. It ends up just taking over the game. That was the entire aspect of it. The only player I was watching for the first quarter was Victor Wembanyama, and man, was that first quarter fun. You had Ron Holland finishing through contact, 2-and-1s on back-to-back plays. You've got Cade Cunningham running over someone on the Spurs and shoving them to the ground. Those are without his dogs. That's without beef stew. I like to know that my guy's not afraid. Cade ain't afraid of nothing. Cade is one of the toughest, badass dudes out there. And yesterday, was it dumb foul? Yeah, sure. But I know one thing. My guy's not afraid of nothing. And that's what Cade Cunningham and the Pistons showed last night, even with the loss. I told you I was scared about his just vertical advantage over the Pistons team. That ended up being true. The amount of times the Pistons were in position to get a rebound, and he would just grab it over them, was mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen Giannis. I've seen LeBron. There's nothing ever that I've seen the equivalent of what I saw last night with Victor Wembanyama and how aggressive the Pistons were at him. He was the game plan. Like, it was not, let's get in this game, we'll see how to go. No, the game plan going in was, we are hitting Victor Wembanyama. We are destroying him as often as we can. And it didn't matter He found his way to score. I think he finished with 19 and 18. He found a way to impact the game in these incredible ways. Only had a couple assists, but they are great passes. Blocking shots at the rim. The amount of times the Pistons got out in transition, which they are one of the better transition teams in the NBA. The Pistons would get out in transition and just not have the option of taking a layup. It's a 2-on-1, it's a 3-on-2, and it doesn't matter because unless you're going to take a three, you're not going to have an open shot. This Pistons, he would drive into the rim. The perfect three-man weave to try to go get a basket, make him commit one way or the other. And he just doesn't have to do it. He stands there, and you can't score with him under the rim. You can't score with him in transition. It completely deterred the Pistons' way of thinking in transition. They couldn't hit a three, which continues to be like the biggest looming factor with this team heading into a playoff series. And the Spurs end up winning the game. Cade played terrible. Scoring-wise, I thought he distributed the ball fine. I thought Jalen Duren took it to Wemby in a pretty big way, like a couple times used his shoulders and just grown man strength him out of the way. That was nice to see. But this Victor Wembanyama guy, guys, I've never seen a guy have that sort of defensive impact when he's not really scoring the basketball that much. The whole game was about him. Pre-game was about him, and he delivered in every way possible in terms of delivering for the fans and putting on a show. The Pistons did as well, even with the loss, because of how aggressive they were and how much physicality they showed. The crowd was incredible. The energy in that building was great. The poking fun at Victor in a friendly way was good too. A couple guys behind me kept going, "De toi, Victor, de toi." I don't even know what that means, but I thought it was funny that they were just speaking simple French terms to him. It was a really good crowd last night for a Monday, and I'm glad I got to go see what that guy's all about. This Detroit Pistons team, they take the L. It's one of the – you got to expect to take an L when you have 4 primetime games in 5 games, all of which are going to be against some of the best teams in the NBA, whether that's the Knicks, the Spurs, the Thunder, or the Cavs all coming up, or the Knicks game that already happened. You can't win every single one of them. They dropped the one yesterday. Hopefully they can win the one on Wednesday or Friday, because if they go 2-1 this week, that's an enormous win considering the level of competition that they're playing. But I will say the lack of three-point shooting, the fact that they shot under 20% from behind the arc yesterday, that continues to be the biggest looming about this team when you're talking about winning 3 playoff series. And I did have the thought for the first time since the trade deadline, wow, I really wish Michael Porter Jr. was on this team. Or they did something else to try to help out the shooting woes that this team has. Bottom 5 in percentage, attempts, makes. It's all there. And outside of Duncan Robinson, they don't really have another true shooter on the team. Even Cade, not really a true shooter from the outside. Ron hit his first couple, but then got real aggressive from the outside after that. They lack shooters, guys. Tobias isn't one of those lights-out guys. Cade's not one of those lights-out guys. It definitely could hinder them here in the playoffs coming up.
I thought they got Herter and it was all solved.
No. Herter's a DNP every night, unfortunately. But they did move up 6 picks in the draft to be able to get him. Still think that was a wise basketball move. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt, here in the Great Lakes Bay region. 10 o'clock hour on the way. Let's keep this thing rolling for 2 more here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, this is
already had been paid, this wouldn't be as much of a problem. If Tarek Skubal had his $400 million contract, I don't really think that this would be an issue. He'd just go out there and pitch because he's competitive and wants to go help his country win. But for some reason, it seems as if there's just no chance he's going to pitch any more than one of the round-robin play games for Team America. Then why is he on the team in the first place? Just so he can get the gold medal or whatever they hand out to the winner? Just so he can kind of ride this team out and say he was a part? Like, honestly, don't even be a part of the team if you're not going to be there the entire time. Go give the spot to someone else who actually might be able to help America in the championship. We saw what Shohei Ohtani did the last time around. He was pitching, he was hitting. He came in as a closer. He didn't care about no contract. He didn't care about reporting to Angels camp. The number one thing on his mind was winning the WBC. And clearly Tarek Skubal doesn't have that same approach going into this for one reason or another. It's frustrating nonetheless that we're only going to get to see him once, and it's not even going to be in one of these finalist games. I don't know, what are we calling these, medal games? Do they hand out medals for the WBC? I'm not sure.
No, it's, quarterfinal, semifinals, final.
He's not playing in any of those. And I'd imagine Scott Boras has something to do with this.
Yeah, like, there's been an issue with this with certain contracts and players with, for insurance reasons. And it's not explicitly said in the current Skubal contract or, in the future one, wherever he goes. But Boras kind of has to treat it like, an insurance policy's not there for you to go pitch in the World Baseball Classic, and explaining to Skubal, who probably, I'd imagine, wants to be a part of this. Yeah, don't get yourself hurt when you have all this money that's coming to you, not playing in the major leagues. And that has always been what's really tough about the World Baseball Classic, and what makes it really cool that guys from all the countries participate in this, because it is a risk. You have to get your body sooner ready to go for baseball in the offseason. Spring training isn't this lollygagging, all right, getting some sun, letting the arm come together. That has to happen in January, February if you want to be ready to go at a top level in March. And if you plan on pitching in October, your season's now even longer. So the wear and tear on your arm is to a considerable amount. And that has always been why, the World Baseball Classic, kind of struggled out of the gate. The last one was great because, Japan and Ohtani and Mike Trout playing for the United States and how great it was. But, there's always that lingering thing of player injuries. And it happened in the last World Baseball Classic. Edwin Diaz tore his ACL celebrating a win, and the Mets were without a closer that year. So
I forgot about that.
And everyone buries that, but that happened, and that's a big, and
that's
obviously
so fluky,
it was
though.
a freak. Yeah, it wasn't like, all right, he threw too many pitches and his arm was hurt and everything like that. It was a freak accident, but that's what happened, right? And Diaz.
I want
was
him
gone
out
for
there,
the
man.
season.
I know the injury risk is there. I want my guy out there representing America. I think it's important that America goes and gets this.
Well, part of this
first
is the
place
Tigers
gold
game.
medal thing.
Tigers game a long-term contract. He'd be all good because he'd know where his money's coming from.
Don't piss me off. You're gonna piss me off.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, that's what stands in the way of it. If we're ranking tiers, it's Boras 1, Tigers ownership 2, and then Skubal 3. Now you can say, hey,
I can't believe the Tigers ownership would be selfish enough to be like, no, we actually nah. Let Japan win again.
Well, they don't
we're
care.
good.
Like the Tigers again. How much stake you want to put in this. And I'm not saying the owners across Major League Baseball don't care about the World Baseball Classic, but it's their product that's out there for no gain of profitability. Now, the host cities, I'd have to look into that, like how much the Marlins make by being a host and obviously being in their venue, and Houston as well, and I believe it's in Arlington. I'd have to look over the sites. Arizona, I know, is one as well. But it's not benefiting the Tigers if the United States wins the World Baseball Classic. It's not benefiting them if Venezuela wins and Miguel Cabrera is their hitting coach and gets a championship. Doesn't benefit them at all. What does is Tarek Skubal being healthy. And then what benefits Scott Boras is Tarek Skubal being healthy, shoving again this year, and getting the best pitcher contract in the history of the game. None of that's going to be achieved by a great World Baseball Classic performance, nor is it going to be used in leverage. Boras can't even point to, all right, his regular season was kind of so-so, but did you see what he did in the WBC, though? They're not going to care.
Now we're getting into politics with it, like with the contract and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Can
That's
we
what it
just
is.
put that aside to go try to win the equivalent of a gold medal? Like, baseball's not in the Olympics, unfortunately. So this is what we have. Like, what we saw last time in the World Baseball Classic, I thought was some of the best, like, baseball I've ever seen, just in terms of everyone coming together and rooting for one common cause. And now, since America lost, they brought together an even better squad. You know, here's Aaron Judge, here's Paul Skeens, here's Tarek Skubal. So maybe they can get it done without him. I don't think that's any guarantee whatsoever. I just wish for once this wasn't about the contract and it wasn't about the money with Skubal. And as much as we paint Scott Boras to be this villain, if Skubal wanted to pitch in this thing, he would do it, okay? He's got the final say in this, and he doesn't want to do it. He wants to pitch one game, and then he wants to ride the coattails of everybody else to say that he got to win this gold medal or whatever it is that they win. Hey, he gets to be the champion. If you're going to pitch one game in the round robin and then not do it again and just kind of hang out with Team USA, knowing that even if you need me and I'm totally ready, I'm not going to pitch, then get off the team. Seriously, we paint Boras to be this evil human, keeping the Tigers away from Skubal. Skubal's just as much a part of this issue that we're talking about right here as Scott Boras is. Skubal, if he wanted to play and wanted to help the United States, would do it. And the fact that this thing hasn't even started and he's already saying, yep, one game and then I'm done. It's selfish. It's selfish.
Do you blame him? Like, this is the conversation, and it's what, to relate it back to what we saw on Sunday with the Olympic hockey, what Colin Cowherd opened with, why this resonates with people is because the NHL players weren't in the Olympics for a good bit, but the players in their CBA fought to be in the Olympics, said, we're not going to have an all-star break. We'll have it during the middle of the season, but we want to play in the Olympics no matter what. And Gary Bettman, commissioner of the league, Players Association, the owners, everything was on board after a bit of a hiatus, but was on board for Sunday to happen. With this, with looming contracts and a lockout that looms next year, players have to think of themselves before they think of country. And again, that's why you get the credit of like, oh, look at these hockey guys. Like, they don't care if they get hurt for their regular season. Brady Tkachuk doesn't care about what happens to the Ottawa Senators, or at least you felt that way watching it. He's trying to win this gold medal. The World Baseball Classic, because it's before a season, and especially with guys with, contracts that are still up in the air, they're not going to have that same willingness to win at all costs. It's just the reality of the situation. Like, who do you blame more in terms of this? You like doing the blame chart. Skubal is trying to make the most money he can.
He's going to regardless.
But you say that. If he gets hurt, he's not.
If he gets hurt in the regular season, he won't. What difference does it make one extra start in a World Baseball Classic where you can go win something for your country? That's the part where I get frustrated with this. There's a wall. There's a priority list, and clearly winning the World Baseball Classic isn't his number one priority. When in my eyes, I think this should be viewed as something the equivalent of the Olympics or the equivalent of the Winter Olympics. Like this has the platform and has the stage to have one of those moments. And we had it the last time. America was just on the wrong side of it. That should piss everybody on Team USA off to where they want to go out and win this thing. Put the money aside. Look at what the NHL players did. Put the money aside. Look at what the NBA players did in 24. Like, why can the baseball community not get behind this the same way that the NBA and the NHL players can? Is it simply the money? Is there too much money on the line?
Yeah.
It's frustrating,
Think of this, too, from a game perspective, right? You're a Tigers fan. If Skubal throws a couple of games in the World Baseball Classic and then that arm is just not ready to go in October because it's the most innings that he's pitched, are you going to be okay? All right, yeah, we won the World Baseball Classic and then the Tigers fell in the divisional series because Skubal wasn't at his best. Are you going to live with that as a fan? You're not. You're not. Like, be honest.
That's an impossible situation to put yourself in.
It's the reality of the situation because Skubal's justification is going to be that as well. He's not going to, when he's asked by Detroit media, Benetti asks him or beat writer or Boy Petzel, hey, Tarek, why weren't you in the World Baseball Classic? I want to make dough, and that wasn't dough. He's not going to say that. He's going to talk about the wear and tear of the arm. He wanted to contribute in some way. And, hey, at least I pitched one game. At least I got us in a qualifying game shoved for you. And then, all right, save those arms for the other guys for the postseason. or for the postseason, the World Baseball Classic, I should say, for the quarterfinal, semifinal games. At least I did some part. I didn't completely just say I'm not playing for America like some guys choose to do.
Okay,
but
then,
this is
then how
what I
about this,
had
John?
to do.
Then how about this? Why is he not just on the team available to come out of the pen, the way that Ohtani did?
I mean, that's worse.
Why?
That's a weaker look if the best pitcher in baseball is just sitting in the bullpen and not doing anything. He's doing, listen, I'll pitch on this day, and then I got to get ready for my season.
Don't be on the team. Like, seriously.
Well,
it's
that's
pissing
the
me off.
Team USA
There should just be somebody else on the team then.
Shouldn't Team USA say, you know what, Scooble?
Yes,
We're
they
good,
should.
and we'll bring in another American.
Yeah.
Okay, but
They
would
should.
you be pissed as a Tigers fan if that happens and they don't let Scooble play? Because then
Not if I find out the way, like, what, if I know what's going on right now, and the United States today was like, we're getting a new pitcher. Sorry, buddy. I'm fine with it.
okay.
Get off the team if you're not going to be committed to them. If you're only going to put one foot in Team USA, I don't want you on the team.
All right.
You imagine if Dylan Larkin was like, I'll play 3 games with you guys, but once we get into the semifinals, I'm good. I'm done. That wouldn't fly.
Well, Larkin's not going to get life-changing money at the that's dependent on whether he plays a great regular season or not.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button on the YouTube side of things as well. We'll keep things rolling here on a Tuesday morning. Wemby came to town last night. The Pistons could not shoot threes to save their lives. Is that a big enough problem to be concerned going into the playoffs? I think the answer is yes. I'll tell you a little bit more when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. So the Pistons shot under 20% last night from three. It's part of the big reason that they lost. The Spurs couldn't hit a free throw to save their lives. Wemby was missing layups over and over again in the first half. And the Pistons still lost because they couldn't hit a three to save their lives. Right now, they rank 28th in terms of three-pointers made per game. In terms of attempts, they rank 27th. In terms of percentage, it's a little bit higher at 22. But they're just not, like, however way you want to spin it, they're not a very good three-point shooting team. You look at the teams that are around them in terms of, you know, let's go just through makes per game. Okay, if they're sitting here at 28th, you know the two teams behind them? Sacramento, the worst team in NBA history. Not actually, but God, they suck. And then the Dallas Mavericks, who are attempting to tank as well. The New Orleans Pelicans, who are always attempting to tank. The Houston Rockets, who have fallen off a cliff. Toronto, the fakest team of all the quote-unquote playoff teams. Orlando, another fake team. The Lakers, who are just pitiful to watch. The Clippers, Kawhi's good, but that's about it. They're not a good enough team for me to confidently say, like, oh, yeah, they're locked to go through 3 playoff rounds. They have a glaring hole, and I think sometimes we can put it aside and say they have toughness, they've got that grittiness, they've got that dog mentality, which they do. Like in warm-ups yesterday, these guys are just running into each other. As the clock's going down right before the anthem, they're legitimately just running into each other like football players doing Oklahoma drills, just bouncing off each other. And I kept screaming, let them off the leash. Let them off the leash. Like that, they're dogs, without a doubt. They're dogs who don't have a three-point shot, though. And for you to win an NBA championship in the year 2026, the Big 2-6, you got to be able to hit your threes. And last night was a perfect example of, hey, man, this team might not be up to standards. I don't think there's been anybody in the East that's proven good enough to beat the Pistons in a playoff series. But for them to win 3 games and avoid this complete hole in their roster, it does make me wonder whether or not the Pistons should have traded for Michael Porter Jr. at the deadline.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one concern, the one takeaway. The thing I should have asked, or maybe pre-production, maybe you, Kyle, talked about yesterday and I wasn't aware, but this stretch for the Pistons that kind of started with the Knicks game coming out of the All-Star break.
Yeah.
How critical can you be? Like, is my thing. Because I don't want to get into the regular season, doesn't matter, or whatever like that. But this is a tough stretch. And ideally, you want to take all the games or 4 of the 5 or what's coming up. But this is the reason you built this 5-game lead. Mm-hmm. Like, the 3-point issues, you tried to fix it at the deadline the best you could, but you weren't going to move heaven and earth to get Michael Porter Jr. And you guys have talked about how, you know what, Tobias Harris kind of has to be a part of this team. A guy who scored 4 points last night. But a guy who, at least against Eastern Conference foes, and at least the teams that have given you trouble in the last couple of years, owns them. Had a great game against the Knicks.
Sure, like, it wasn't really about giving up Tobias, though, once you got Herter. It could have been Herter and LeVert and...
Well, you got Herter, and it's a nothing burger.
I know, but the Nets did not care about what players they got in return. All they wanted was picks. All they wanted was expiring contracts. So you could have put it together and given up the picks. It felt like they were being a little bit stingy, Scott Harris style, about those picks.
Good.
Why would we give up Max Anderson?
Harris.
Max Anderson's a future star.
So then, like, at least for this stretch, like, we could talk about 3-point issues, but, like, this is why the Pistons have a 5-game lead over the Celtics, 6-game lead over New York. And you're good because, like, you could take this stretch and you could theoretically win 2 of the 5. It's not going to feel great. Obviously, you want to beat the Spurs.
Correct.
You want to beat the Cavs, right? They're coming up. But, like, this is why you built the lead.
But
go into
I'm
cruise control
concerned
now and then push post March. Like,
but I'm not really bringing up the 1 seed. Like, you're right. They have built themselves a big enough lead to where you don't have to worry about that 1 seed unless you go on a little bit of a losing streak, and they haven't had a 3-game losing streak all year. I believe they've only had 2-game losing streaks the entire season. So, like, I'm not even trying to take the conversation there. I'm not saying I know. I'm not saying you shouldn't bring it up because it's a good talking point. But, like, just from a big picture standpoint, because that's kind of where I think the Pistons conversations have to start from now on, rather than game to game is big picture-wise, do they have enough three-point shooting to win an NBA championship? And right now the answer feels like no when it's something they could have addressed at the deadline. And I know they took the low.
They did address it. It just didn't work.
It failed miserably because that guy can't play. He's not even in the rotation anymore. And to be fair, Jaden Ivey's a DNP every night for Chicago as well. So they traded a whole bunch of nothing to move up 6 picks in the draft. So, like, again, smart basketball move. But, man, I like it. Last night really made me wonder, like, Michael Porter Jr. completely changes the aspect of this team if they get him at the deadline. And he didn't get moved, so maybe the Nets wouldn't have moved him anyway. But now I'm starting to – those thoughts are kind of starting to creep back in my head of maybe this team doesn't have enough shooting to make it through 3 playoff rounds. And how can those thoughts not creep through your head after a game last night where they shoot under 20% from behind the arc?
No, they were abysmal. It just – I mean, now we kind of steer a conversation, too, towards, and I know he's our guy, Trajan Langdon there. How do you get a nothing for, like, why make the nothing for nothing trade?
To move up in the draft.
Who cares about the draft? Like, from that thought process. You're in a win now. This is like.
But if you can trade one DNP guy for another DNP guy and move up in the draft, like, you kind of just do it.
I guess.
It's going to get swept under the rug, and it's not like it won him a deadline. It didn't really do anything for them this season. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. Individually, it was a good move. From an entire deadline standpoint, did it do what it, like, did the deadline serve its purpose for the Pistons? No, it didn't. In a vacuum, I thought the move was fine, though.
Yeah. Well, in
the grand
a vacuum,
scheme of things, it wasn't.
In a vacuum, Herter was going to be at least a contributor, no?
They tried.
Yeah.
They tried their best, and 3 games went by, and they were like, yeah, no, you can't be out there.
Wow.
He doesn't match the physicality that the Pistons bring. Like, he just does, like, it's so apparent he can't be out there.
You don't need that. You need a guy in the corner to shoot.
It didn't fit. It didn't fit,
Duncan
John.
Robinson matches the physicality that the Pistons bring.
But he's at least got, like, a sense of where he is. He knows a role carved out for him. Kevin Herter Jr. didn't want to shoot. It was odd. Like, every time he was out there, it just felt completely out of place, and he couldn't hit a 3 to save his life. So that, again, the deadline is going to go down. It's like, hey, man, you didn't do anything at the deadline. You made this smart basketball move, but what did it actually do for you? Nothing. And again, like, after last night, I don't know how someone can sit here and be like, you know what? I feel even better about the Pistons. You can't. They have this physicality. They have this defense that's lights out, and I still think that might be enough to get through this version of the East. But with Tatum most likely coming back for the Celtics and that being a team that prefers to shoot a 3 than an open layup, I get a little bit concerned about that matchup because of just the difference in the volume of 3s that are being shot by each team. Because eventually the math is just going to math itself out. It was a joke for so long that 3 is better than 2, but NBA teams have legitimately taken that argument and showed proof of it statistically of, like, if we just shoot this amount of 3s, no team's really going to be able to catch us if we can make this percent of them. And the Celtics are kind of the definition of that team, and that's by far to me now the scariest matchup, even with a battling Jason Tatum back from an Achilles tear, and even with him and Brown not really knowing who the alpha is. I would imagine it's Brown. That's just a team that I don't know if the Pistons can handle from a matching the 3-point volume conversation. So, yeah, like, as much as we like to blow smoke up this Pistons team butt, and we love their mentality, and we love the dogs that they have, and Ron Holland's awesome, and Cade's awesome, you guys can't shoot. You got one shooter on the team. It's Duncan Robinson. Tobias isn't like this lights-out knockdown shooter. He can hit him from outside. Cade's shooting 33% from the outside. That's, like, number one thing that's got to be improved other than the free throw shot being at 80%. Ron and Asar don't shoot. Asar got benched yesterday. Jalen Duren doesn't really shoot. Like, none of these guys can shoot 3s. It's a problem.
Danish Jenkins, get in the gym, my dude. St. John's. He could shoot at St. John's. He wasn't, like, knocked down, but he could hit a 3.
All these guys are capable of hitting 3s, but none of them are like, oh, shoot, how did they get open? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, for the other team, there's nobody where, like, you can't let him get one off. Duncan's the only guy. Sure. Everyone else, it's like, nah, okay, we'll see if it goes in. If it does, so be it. They missed that other guy, and it's so clearly the Tobias spot that needs to be upgraded after this year. But this is a team they got for now.
There you go. Well, playoff T got to show up then.
989-837-6125. Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt here on a Tuesday. We talk about having home field advantage a lot for the NBA playoffs. You know, the Pistons being the 1 seed are going to have Game 7 at home throughout the Eastern Conference. Well, if your home or business is using propane, the company with the advantage is Forward Energy. Since 1925, they've been serving our local community with propane and fuel solutions for homes and businesses. Local people, reliable service, forward energy, part of the home team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The
All right, welcome back in. It's that time of the year. Football's not really going on. That doesn't stop us, though. So without further ado, how about you and I, John Vicari, take a trip around the league?
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
De toi, Wemby. Okay, around the league. Today I've got something simple for you, John. I've got 4 ideas. You tell me if they're good ideas or if they're bad ideas for this upcoming football season.
I'm excited for this because you didn't run this by me. The next segment I didn't run by you. This one you didn't run by me. So we'll see what we got.
We're really testing our reactionary skills here. Confidence in each other.
We're talk show hosts, baby. You know, that's what we got to do.
Good or bad idea? So the officials, or the NFL, is looking into this new rule proposal where replays can come from the replay or through one of the official scores. So replay officials can now throw flags is essentially what I'm trying to say. So the guys that aren't even on the field. For example, in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, Diggs, Stephon, and Josh, grabbed each other's face masks near the sideline, and Job swung on him. No penalty because the refs didn't see it. Now, a replay assist referee can be like, I saw it. I know nobody else saw it, but I did. Flag. Is this a good idea or a bad idea that someone that has all the angles that's not even on the field can now start throwing flags?
It's like one of your favorite CBS shows, Big Brother. You're going to have Big Brother in the sky looking out over everybody. As long as it doesn't take too much time.
It takes a normal amount of time as a flag would.
It just opens up a can of worms that there's stuff that you see, stuff that you don't see. Like, we have all the camera angles in the world.
I think this is a bad idea.
Like with officials being on the field for a reason, because from this argument, you might as well just not have officials even on the field, because
you may as well have AI do it.
Yeah, you might as well just have, but at least a human doing it from a sweet experience and through monitors and angles. But you need an official down there to get the feel of the game, in my opinion, and just whether like even a couple pushes and shoves back and forth. Even if, like, letter of the law says, all right, it should be a penalty here or there, an official that's on the field knows, all right, these guys have been going at it all game long. Unless there's something egregious on one side, I'm not going to throw the flag. We keep giving them warnings. Like, you have to have a little feel in a sport that has the physicality that the NFL does, in my opinion. So I don't know how that would work.
I'm just out on anything that makes the game take longer, and every flag delays the game a little bit. So if we've got an extra guy who has the ability to throw flags, who's like, entire job is to look out for the flags that the officials missed, I'm out. Yeah. You lost me. And I also can't imagine J-Mo 40-yard touchdown from Jameson Williams. Lions are celebrating in the end zone, and then let's wait a minute here. It looks like the replay assist is going to throw a flag because Taylor Decker put his hands a little too high on this pass rusher. Put it in the head and neck area. Kenny Albert's like, just confused on what's going on. Yeah, so are we. I think this is a terrible idea. Let the officials do their jobs. Sometimes they're going to screw up. They're never perfect. In fact, they're not good ever. Oh. It doesn't get better by putting someone in the booth. It makes the game experience take a lot longer. Because then all of a sudden there's flags on the field afterwards. It's like, oh, the play played out. There was no graphics, so you don't know it's coming back. Nobody knows it's coming. Such a momentum killer if there's big plays. I'm out. If the refs don't see it, bad idea.
Yeah, I'm out too. Now, the only, I think, in between would be maybe, like someone from up top in the ear of the on-field official.
If they missed it, they missed it.
Yeah, that's just tough to kind of do in real
time. Either way, it would just delay the game even more. Nick Sirianni believes...
Get him out of the league. Good idea. Sorry.
Nick Sirianni believes A.J. Brown wants to be here in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia wants him to be there too. So, is it a good idea or is it a bad idea for Philadelphia to keep A.J. Brown?
If he keeps dropping balls in the postseason, keep him there, man. That'd be great. As a Giants fan, like, if he wants to keep not showing up in big moments, then I'm for it. You know, I don't know what happened that Super Bowl year where everything was good, but I saw what happened last year. Everything was bad. I'm for it.
See, you know what I don't understand about this whole A.J. Brown situation? And by the way, I think it'd be a good idea to keep him. Bad idea to trade him away. Do Eagles fans think, or common NFL fans think, like, if they trade him away, all of their problems are fixed? Like, he's the root of all of the evil that happens within that locker room? Like, they still have a ludicrous head coach who people can't really rally behind. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but, like, people get in arguments with him. Like, I don't think his players look up to him the same way that the players look up to Dan or anything like that.
I think A.J. Brown is...
You think he is the root of it?
He is the root. If they got rid of him tomorrow, they'd be great.
See, this is where you and I just disagree, because I think Nick Sirianni's like big ego is still going to be problematic, and I think Jalen Hurts, every time he's in front of a microphone, pretends like he's a disciple and he is preaching to everybody. Like, I'm good on all that too. Like, I think people thinking A.J. Brown being removed from the situation, fixing everything, is crazy, because there's still problematic people there, like Nick Sirianni and like Jalen Hurts, who's just like constantly trying to aura farm.
Listen, they're both aura farmers. Sirianni is when he poses to the cameras.
Yes.
And Hurts is with his, I have an all-female agency team, look at me. But you know what, Ben? It worked. Like, they won a Super Bowl.
With A.J. Brown.
I get that, but now he was the reason that they didn't win last year because it's, shape-shifting the offense where it's got to be me getting throws my way and then him getting the ball his way and not making the catches. Now they don't have to worry about a me guy when, guess what? When your head coach and your quarterback are the me guys, you need team guys like Devontae Smith's around you and Saquon Barkley's around you. And with that, that's a good formula. They're guaranteed to win the NFC East every year, and then they just got to make a couple moves. They can't miss in their drafts defensively over the last couple of years. Howie Roseman, one of the best drafters. Philadelphia has one problem. It's A.J. Brown. That's it.
I think they won a Super Bowl with him. I'd keep him if they're still trying to compete. Question number 3.
Handle him. They couldn't handle him last year.
Is it a good idea or a bad idea for the 49ers to keep Mac Jones on their roster? They've made it clear they're keeping him. They don't want to trade him. They love him in the room as a backup. This could be a ploy to try to raise his his trade value. I think it'd be a bad idea to hold on to him. I think there's a big enough need this offseason for quarterbacks and enough teams that need quarterbacks so where someone's going to get desperate. I'm talking Jets, Falcons, Dolphins, Vikings, and then like Pittsburgh and Arizona I'd throw in there as well. Everybody's going to want a quarterback, and I think some team's going to talk themselves into trading him. I get what they're doing by saying, oh, no, he's not on the table, but I think you got to go get something for him if you can.
If we believe Shanahan could take any middling backup quarterback, make him play the system, and make him play well enough to win, then, yeah, you get rid of Mac Jones. You find another Mac Jones.
Yeah.
If you can get some value for him.
Who would be the most fun team for him to go to where, like, he has a kind of chance of winning the starting job or just is the starter and maybe can do something? I'm talking not a situation where he's just set up to fail. I think it's Minnesota.
Yeah. But Minnesota's got 9, so why do they got to worry about the Mac Daddy?
I think they got to bring in some competition for 9.
Well, that I guess worked last year to an extent, right? Mac Brosmer.
How about this? Last one, and then we'll move on. Is it a good idea or the bad idea for the Lions to take Penn State guard Vega Iona? Combine this week, interviews today. We finally hear from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell for the first time since the season ended a little bit later on in the afternoon. What do we think? Would it be a good idea for the Lions to take an interior offensive lineman in the first round? The only guy who's viewed as like, yep, this is the interior guy of a first round.
What's your biggest need? The Lions' biggest need.
It depends on if Taylor Decker retires or not.
Okay. If Taylor Decker retires, what's your biggest need?
Tackle.
Okay. If Taylor Decker doesn't retire, what's your biggest need?
Guard.
All right. So you draft a guard. Simple as that. Draft be a need. I don't need the Brad Holmes, and we've clashed over this. Oh, we just draft who's best. Who we think's the best player in the draft. No, you draft who you need because you're a win now team. What position do you need? We all saw what the offensive line did. Get an offensive lineman. Thank you. And now I don't know.
I think
was it Vega Iona? I don't know that guy.
He's considered the
sure
lone guy in the first round where it's like this is the interior guy who's just going to be awesome. The best interior prospect we have. I'm down to take him. But you got to know for sure Taylor Decker's coming back. I'd like to sign a different tackle as well, like the Dan Skipper replacement, even though that guy's probably also going to suck.
Wow, very optimistic.
But like you got to kind of have some sort of insurance for Taylor Decker because of how much injuries he dealt with last season. And also, if he retires, okay, then this is officially a bad idea. You know, my stance is cut him regardless. Like, move on, get rid of him, and draft a tackle no matter what, and just make sure Taylor Decker's gone, whether you retire him or cut him. I would just be taking a tackle. But if he's like, no, you know what, I'm going to play for the Lions this year, one last time, let's do a last dance type of situation. Well, first of all, I think you're putting yourself in a situation where it's like, oh, cool, Taylor Decker's back. Might just suck this year or get hurt again. But if that's the case, I don't want my first-round pick sitting on the bench, so I would bring in Iona Vega. Combine this week. You interested in the Combine?
Couldn't care less.
At all. Just nothing you can take away from the Combine. You know what
No,
I think is
I'm
more valuable?
always busy during it.
You know what I think is more valuable than the 40 or the bench press or any of that stuff that you can watch on TV is hearing how the interviews went. That to me is way more valuable than, like, I need to know if they can fit in the Lions culture. If these are guys with like heads screwed on right. more than I care about their 40-yard dash time. Brian Branch had a bad 40, and it dropped him, and there's a reason the Lions were able to get him that late. He was awesome in college.
Do they still do the Wonderlic test for them, for the players coming?
No, I think C.J. Stroud put an end to that, right?
Did he? Because I was about to say, you and Kyle should do a Wonderlic test, and then we should read the results live on air.
Are those like, do we know what those are?
They're Wonderlic. I think they're available. I think you just
Sure.
maybe not this
think
year's,
that'd
but
be
like a
fun.
past year.
Because I think C.J. Stroud like completely failed his, and it was like the
Legend.
worst score ever. So I think
Legend.
they just stopped doing those. I don't necessarily care how fast the guys run 40s, to be honest. All I want is to get them in a room and to hear their ask questions. I think that's the most fun part about the combine. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
You always be coming without no money, girl. Come on.
Tigers, they keep rolling on. It's spring training. I don't think we'll ever have like a spring training lead for you, but we'll keep you updated on what's going on. Maybe one segment every 3 days or something like that. But John wanted to give us his guide on how to watch spring training. I'm completely in the dark on what's about to happen.
As you should be. No, I mean, in terms of...
Makes me nervous.
No. I just got to get the cameras set. But no, I mean, in terms of how to watch it, I can't say I was inspired 100% by, I just came up with this. I watched a video last night, a YouTuber I follow who does a great job, Lance Brozdowski, who, if you aren't subscribed to him, go subscribe to him on YouTube. He's very good. He works for the Marquee Network in Chicago, and he did just basically what should matter to you in spring training as like a fan, because even me, big baseball guy, prospects, being a minor league broadcaster, so it's like, all right, I even know some guys depending on what team I'm watching, this and that, but it's hard to get into a spring training game. So let's make it more interesting for people. First thing, and I don't know if you're fully aware of this, Ben, the ABS challenge system is implemented this year. So instead of being completely in the dark with it when it's opening day, that's a reason to watch. Now, I think it's a reason to watch trends-wise, because if you're not familiar, and I really am not either because it's not in the Midwest League, only 3 people can challenge: the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter. There's no, or shouldn't be, manager input, a guy in the stands, someone watching in a tablet somewhere.
I would hope a guy in the stands can't say anything.
There's no input from that. And it has to be done within really what is not a measurable amount of time, but is like a second or two. Like, it can't be thrown back to the pitcher and then the hitter's like, all right, tapping on the helmet. It kind of has to be like the pitch comes in, boom, split second, either hitter taps the helmet, catcher taps the helmet, or the pitcher motions for it. So only those 3 can challenge. There's numbers from last spring training and from the minor leagues. What do you think the best success rate is numbers-wise, and what position of those 3 has the best success?
The catcher, I would imagine.
Correct. Look at you.
Has
56% of the time, the catcher gets it right.
Okay. What
The
about
batter-
the batter? This has got to be the lowest, right? Like 40?
The pitcher's the lowest, and
Really?
the pitcher is 40, right on the.
So the pitcher should just never be allowed to challenge. As well,
Well-
like if you're a team and your pitcher challenges, that's the worst thing that can happen. You only get 2 of these a game, right?
That's the thing too. You only get 2, but now if you get it right, you don't lose that.
Okay.
So like if you do use it in like the second inning and you get it right, you're good. But if you use it in the second inning and you get it wrong, you don't get it back.
I can't.
There's only 2
wait.
challenges. So that makes it more interesting. And like you said, pitchers are 40%, hitters are like 46, 47%, and then catchers were at 54% of all the numbers tabulated in terms of having success with the ABS challenge system.
And where is this from? Just AA?
Just minor leagues from last year, and then spring training data from last season as well when it was implemented. So if you want to watch from that perspective, what pitchers are allowed to challenge? Chris Sale already said this year, if coming off the season he just had, he wouldn't have challenged 1 pitch. There was not one time. He might have been frustrated with a bit, but there was not one time where he was like, man, I wish I should have challenged
I can't wait
that.
for Scooble to challenge in the first
That's what I'm saying.
at-bat of every single game. He's just like he's just freaking out on the ref or on the umpire, just screaming at him, challenge it, and then we just lose one of our challenges right away.
Well, that's the fun and like what pitcher, like if you're AJ Hinch, are you giving Scooble the green light, or are you sitting your guys down? You're telling your pitchers in a big meeting, guys, you guys aren't allowed to challenge. It's only the catcher. How does that conversation have?
If 46%, what'd you say it was the pitchers? 46?
40%.
40% versus
Yeah.
54%, that's a big enough difference to be like, yeah, sorry, pitchers, you're just never going to do this.
Yeah.
This is on Dingler.
On Dylan
I would
Jones.
never let him do it, especially Scooble, who pitches with a ton of emotions. He's just going to convince himself everything he throws is a strike. And he deserves the benefit of the doubt, but let Dylan Dingler be the person with the little rationale who makes the decision on whether or not to challenge it. That's a good stat, John.
Yeah, so that was very cool. Intrigue from that video, and what's unique too, this zone got smaller last year. So the umpires last year across baseball, pretty much preparing for this challenge system, minimized the zone a bit by like an inch or 2.
That's a lot.
It is a lot for it is a lot. And that meant a tighter strike zone last year, and many thought that was because they were preparing for this like ABS system.
That makes sense.
Another thing too is the seeing if guys are comfortable with their quote unquote ABS system, because they're measured in their stance, I believe, but some feel that they're actually measured when they're standing up in the batter's box, and some have complained about it. So that is something to monitor too, guys' reaction with that. I know we're getting a little nerdy, but I was like, you know what? I think that kind of makes it, because if you're
we're nerds.
That's
we're
what we got.
We're sports
I think-
nerds. That's fine.
I think this plays to just like, all right, you're watching meaningless baseball, because there's only so many numbers that you could extract from these games and that mean anything. Let's get into numbers that do mean something. A cool stat I didn't know about: Baseball Reference has a quality of opponent number. I don't know how they measure this. He didn't really go into that, but a quality of opponent number that you could kind of sort your spring training players. So if you're like, man, Riley Green hit 400 in the spring, 5 homers, this and that, you could look at his quality of opponent, and he might have been, just because we're not all watching and paying attention to every box score, feasting on guys who have never made it out of single A.
Right.
Or, oh, shoot, he hit 4 homers off of guys that all have Major League Baseball experience. The only way you know that is going through box scores. Well, apparently not. Baseball Reference has a quality of opponent thing. And I'd have to look at what the scale is, whether it's 0 out of to 100.
Can't
or
be
0
that
to
hard
10.
once you stumble across a stat, though.
So if you go and see quality of opponent in Baseball Reference, you're able to figure out the quality of opponent. So that might have a little more insight into,
Nice.
Into that. The other thing, new pitches and fastball velocity. How many guys he monitored this Lance guy, 60 guys last year who introduced new pitches in spring training. How many do you think implemented the new pitch and had a successful season because of it? This is only Major League data. They had a new pitch, they worked on it during the offseason, implemented it in spring training, and then threw it in the regular season.
Like one attempt counts in the regular season.
No, like it was a new pitch that was added to the repertoire for a guy. It was introduced in the spring, like say for example, like Skeens, which I don't think this new pitch really mattered or not, but he threw like a new 2-seam cut pitch variety. He threw it in the regular season. It wasn't his primary pitch, but he threw it enough where it was like, yeah, it was a part of his mix, right? So at least that's one. How
so
many
you're
of
asking
those
how many guys
out
that
of
happened
60?
to?
How many do you think actually?
7.
Like 3.
Wow.
So that actually used
Just messing with stuff for no reason.
messing with stuff, and then some guys just got hurt. Like there's data about like guys that just got hurt early in the season, and it was interesting to see him kind of delve into the numbers of, and he just had a spreadsheet along with a guy from The Athletic, pitchers that implemented a new pitch, and then whether they had success in the season, and it was basically Griffin Canning of the Mets, Skeens he kind of counted because he won the Cy Young, but it wasn't like that new pitch was the difference, and your boy Scooble. So that was it. But the rest of them either didn't throw the new pitch, practice a new pitch in spring training or in workouts, didn't throw it throughout a whole regular season, or got injured, or were really bad. So there you go in terms of numbers. The final thing, fastball velo, and this is just, I think, captivating because of the World Baseball Classic, about velo uptick and how high it is for a guy just because they have to get their arms ready sooner. Like you might see some guys, because that first spring training outing, regardless of who you are, you're going out wanting to show off. Like you got a fresh arm. You're not trying to throw your arm off, but those first couple pitches, you might be a guy throwing 93, 94. Oh, I think I could get to 97. First couple of times, maybe throwing at that clip just to kind of be impressive. Monitor that too. I guess that's kind of an early spring training thing. But yeah, you either find that interesting or you don't. Or
That's okay.
this is the final thing to it. Just crack a cold one and relax and watch, and just have no
pretend
thoughts at all.
Turn on a space heater in your house and pretend it's summertime. Kick your feet up, throw a bathing suit on, throw your shades on inside.
Oh yeah, that could work.
I was walking back.
That's a guide too.
I was walking back from Little Caesars last night in the freezing, like 20-degree coldness, and I was just like, man, it'd be nice to be walking back from a Tigers game right now. And it's like 75 degrees still, even though it's nighttime. I'm wearing shorts. I just want the summer to be here, man. I'm ready for Tigers baseball.
It's gonna be April in the D's before you know it, dude. With teams having a lot of success.
and all the teams on different networks. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. If you are headed out of town at any point or showing up to anywhere important, head to Tommy's Express Car Wash and give your car the glow up it deserves. Fast, friendly, and freakishly good at cleaning. Roll in dirty, roll out sparkling. It is, in fact, that easy. High-tech wash tunnels, eco-friendly soaps, and a ride that looks showroom fresh in just a minute or so. Sign up for their unlimited club and wash as often as you want because clean cars just drive a little bit better. No appointments, no nonsense, just quick, clean, kind of addictive. That is Tommy's Express Car Wash. Your car called. It's begging for this. Locations in Midland, Saginaw, and Flint. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
they've jacked up the prices and they found out, oh, there's actually a lot of people in Detroit that can afford to go to these games. I think it's killed the atmosphere a little bit, but nonetheless, like there is a new population of Lions fans that gets to go to this, and it feels like they're trying to keep us common folk out of there.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's just economics of it. But yeah, no, Wemby's on the short list of guys to see. Best athlete you've ever seen.
I saw Megatron in person.
That's another good one.
That counts as like
that's cool.
I remember being a kid and just being like, how are they supposed to stop him? That doesn't make any sense. This guy's doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just in terms of the attraction, Wembanyama is by far the NBA's number one guy right now. Maybe even the number one guy in sports of just like, dude, you got to go see what this guy looks like in person. Because it really is supernatural, the way that he walks around on the floor. Like, there's nothing like it that you get to see in everyday life. You got to pay to get inside Little Caesars Arena or whatever NBA stadium to see what this guy looks like. The best players in the world, he just towers over them. He's not real. And I'm so glad I got to see him last night. Because that was a bucket list guy for me.
That's awesome.
And maybe I'll make it a tradition. Like every time that
year?
this guy comes to town, I got to go see him. He's my guy.
I should know this, but I don't because the NBA, kind of falls in terms of my knowledge. They play everyone every year?
They play everybody twice. The Western Conference teams, the Pistons will play twice every year.
So a home and home.
Yes,
wow.
correct.
Yeah.
82 games. You got to
grow the
games
game
to do it.
Yeah.
Why not? I thought last night the biggest takeaways for me were, okay, the Pistons are just like, Wembanyama obviously was in the number one game plan, but he was more than that. It was like, it became a non-basketball storyline of, oh, they're just going to beat this guy up as much as possible. Tight end, check him, like chip block him every single time they had the opportunity to do it, whether he was setting screens or coming off screens or just diving into the basket. I mean, they were pushing him around. And he drew a ton of attention and started getting the whistle. It became a really physical game. But the number one takeaway was, oh, this team, like their three-point percentage, their three-point percentage yesterday was under 20. But overall in the season, their just lack of ability to hit threes is once again a concern. Not that it ever wasn't, but it just was super apparent last night. I saw someone in our YouTube ask, was it just an off night for the Pistons or were the Spurs affecting all of these shots? I think it's a little bit of both. Like, it's going to take an off night to hit 20% of your threes, less than. But if you're the NBA, if you're the Pistons and you don't hit your first couple and it's really hard to get to the rim and you feel like you have to settle for a bunch of threes, they're probably not going to go in. And it feels like when Duncan's not hitting his threes, which he hit a couple last night, but nobody else has like stepped up as this. I'm a reliable three-point. Even Cade's not really a reliable three-point shooter. Duncan's not a reliable three-point shooter. All these guys have the ability to knock down a three. That doesn't make them the reliable shooters from the outside. The Pistons need like one more guy who's just like 36, 37% from outside. And unfortunately, they're just not going to get it this year unless there's a buyout player that they could go add, someone like Chris Middleton. But you're just crossing your fingers and hoping a couple teams just part ways with guys. I'd love to add someone else to this rotation that could shoot, if they can add a buyout guy at any point this season. But as of right now, it gets a little bit concerning once you get into the postseason of, man, can they really win 3 straight rounds? In every round, they're going to be the worst shooting team. Like, they're going to be the inferior shooting team of every opponent they play. Do you get to win 3 playoff series and make it to a finals if that's the case? I don't know. Oklahoma City did it last year, and they did it on defense. So, like, short-term history would tell you, yes, it's possible. The Pistons defense isn't quite as good as that Oklahoma City defense was, and maybe the biggest difference there is the Pistons don't get to the line as much as Oklahoma City does, and K doesn't get to the line as much as SGA. It's more so because he's an ethical hooper, as we like to call him. But even if he did get to the line that much, the problem is Cade's shooting 80% from the charity stripe this year. That's not good enough from your star. I'm sorry, it's just not. Number one thing Cade needs to improve on is the free throw shot. Number 2 is the three-point shot. He's cracked the code on all the other stuff. He's a great passer, great rebounder, pushes the ball in transition, does all the little things. He needs to be able to hit his threes, hit his free throws. There's a concern.
Were the Thunder that like abysmal of a three-point shooting team last year? Like
in the playoffs, yes.
Bottom 3?
In the playoffs, they stunk it up. They were the worst three-point shooting team of the playoffs last year.
Really?
Or like bottom 4 or something like that. They were horrendous from behind the arc, but they got so many layup transition points that it didn't
Yeah.
matter because they just forced so many turnovers. Because that's why we all thought it was the beginning of a dynasty. It's like, well, what happens when this team actually starts hitting their threes? Because they actually have 3-point shooters. The Pistons don't. That's the problem. They won't even attempt them.
No. Wow. Because you're right with when you brought up the Thunder, I forget how just
It was all defense.
Yeah.
It was all
That's it.
defense. So short-term history would tell you, yeah, the Pistons can do it.
So what are you worried about?
But I don't
they
think
just got to play their
they don't get
minds
to the
off
line
defensively.
enough. Tobias doesn't get to the free throw line ever. Cade gets to the free throw line not as much as most other superstars and only hits 80% from out there. Duncan doesn't really get to the line. There's a reason Ivy's not on the team anymore. He never got to the line. We need some more guys to finish through contact. Like Duren will get to the line, but you need other guys besides your center doing that. There's concerns, but again, you look around the Eastern Conference. Who are you afraid of? The Celtics with Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably it.
Not afraid of the Knicks anymore, unfortunately.
No, not afraid of the Knicks. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mint, 11 o'clock hour, as always. Brought to you by friends over at Iron Stack. Nope, that's 9 o'clock hour. 11 o'clock is Yider Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yider Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in the Great Lakes Bay region for decades. They treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yider is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yider Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mint.
You always be coming without no money, girl. Come on.
Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday so far today. All right, welcome back in. It's John Vicari's turn to take it away with the Mid Morning Catch. John, hit us with the news. Tell us what's going on in the world of sports on this Tuesday a.m.
The Mets Morning Catch.
Give me a sec here. This is always so difficult. I make it so difficult. That's kind of my skill. All right, here we go.
You want to turn that down so I can hear
That's
you?
what I'm doing. All right, mid-morning catch time. Just a lot of moving pieces today, in terms of
No, I don't.
the setup. You don't. Kyle just makes this look so effortless, but Homeboy's been struggling today. Let's start here with some newer news that maybe people haven't been aware of. You know why I say that? Because I wasn't aware of it until you told me about it. But let's start with some NFL news. NFL Scouting Combine is Thursday. Who cares? I've stated that. But what you do get is a lot of media access with decision makers across the National Football League, general managers, owners, what have you, anyone that's basically there willing to have a press conference. John Spytek, the GM of the Las Vegas Raiders, who of course have that oh-so-desirable first pick. Why are they even there, by the way? Is Mendoza going to throw? Probably not.
No.
But I guess they got to worry about their other picks, too. But he says, as quoted with Max Crosby, did not hesitate, said, in terms of being asked if he anticipates Crosby being here this season, I do, yes. And, of course, right out the gate, going to be asked that. No hesitation. Max Crosby, the future of the Raiders, the present, and kind of the past, too. He's getting up there. But, well, for this... finally squelch Lions getting Crosby talks, or no?
I hope so. Can we
just disregard it? Or?
It's been 3 years of like this BS narrative that's never going to happen.
Why not? But he went to Eastern, right?
Yes, he went to Eastern.
All
and
right.
I'm just so over it. He's not ever going to be a Lion.
Just
He's
wait
a
till
Raider.
next deadline. But hey, at least this season, to start, he'll be a Raider, according to their general manager. We'll see through the course of the week if we get anything else juicy from the NFL Scouting Combine, but that's at least in terms of what affects the Lions. For the Lions, who will be there? Do we have? I mean, it's Holmes.
Holmes has a
Campbell.
press conference at 1. Dan Campbell
Does
has
he?
a press conference at 2.
Okay, so there you go. That'll be some stuff for the mid morning catch with Kyle tomorrow. In terms of what
He's
happened,
back tomorrow. It's a 1-day trip.
yeah, Kyle's a workaholic, man. He calls a game in Kent tonight, Kent State and the Chippewas, and then he'll be back to, at least according to him.
Nice.
He'll be back tomorrow. Yeah. It is a day trip, but he'll be back. Unless I don't know. Maybe I'm on the show tomorrow. We'll find out. In terms of last night, we've talked about Spurs beating the Pistons 114-103. There was also some other basketball on, college basketball, and 2 top 25 matchups. One worth noting, an upset in the top 25. Kansas defeating Houston, 14th-ranked Jayhawks, and the 5th-ranked Cougars. Houston falls for a second straight game. They lost to Arizona over the weekend, and they lose 69-56. On the short list, Ben, for you, teams that are better than Michigan, it's just Duke? Because, of course, we were talking Houston, Arizona, but, they just haven't had...
Duke for sure.
Duke's the one.
And
It ain't
it can't
UConn.
be Houston. It can't be UConn.
Because the Johnny's better than UConn. What? Who said that?
Yeah, I would only say Duke.
So that's the short list. So it's Duke, Michigan, 1-2.
Correct.
All right. So there you go. A couple weeks ago, maybe even last week, you talked about an intriguing Netflix fight, Ronda Rousey versus Gina Serrano. How about this for a Netflix fight? Scheduled September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Floyd Mayweather Jr., age 49. Manny Pacquiao, age 47. Gonna fight in the Sphere.
Who ran out of money? Floyd ran out of money. Floyd ran out of money. Floyd ran out of money.
No, he's coming
why
out of
else would he be
retirement.
doing? Why else would he be doing this unless he ran out of money?
Because he knows
I'm
he's a
gonna sneeze.
spectacle. Oh. Mute the mic for you there. Oh, and then I
Thank
unmuted
you.
and you did it again.
Thank you.
I muted it for one, but
That
then
was
the
good.
other
That
one-
was really good.
The other one did get on air. So yeah, the fight will be streamed globally on Netflix. The weight and the rounds are to be determined.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why? We've already got this. It was a once-in-a-lifetime fight. It was epic. Why are
It
we
was
doing
not
this
epic.
again?
Well, that's what do you remember watching this fight, May 2nd,
I do.
2015? Where were you?
In my basement.
I was too. I had buddies over to my basement watching. This fight sucked.
You know what fight was more fun than this?
Mayweather-McGregor.
Yes.
Yes.
Because McGregor went balls to the walls for the first 4 rounds before he got tired.
And Mayweather, kind of what happened. Mayweather, basically, because of how bad the Pacquiao fight was, said, all right, I'll make it look easy or make it look competitive against McGregor for a couple rounds.
Mayweather's
and
not
then
a fun boxer to watch. I'm sorry. Okay, how about this? The later stages, Mayweather, when he would just dance around, land some punches, you couldn't hit him, and you just got to watch that for 10 rounds. And then at the end, you were like, that wasn't fun at all.
Couldn't hit him. Quickest guy.
So he ran out of money and wants to do a Netflix fight.
Will you watch this? September 19th.
Probably. Is it a Friday?
Oh, September 9th. I would imagine it's a Saturday, but let's check quickly.
Probably. I wouldn't watch it over college football.
September 19th is a Saturday night, yeah.
But
But it'll be on at like 1 a.m., so you'll be able to watch it. What if the Lions play in Germany September 20th? That'd be crazy.
Then no, I won't be watching it. I'll be in my bed happily asleep that I'm missing 2 50-year-old men fight each other.
Again, the Mayweather beat Pacquiao unanimous decision fight was a dud, but they'll run it back a decade later. It was so fun, too, because this was the narrative that they would like never fight each other, that they would duck each other, and now we're getting the fight twice, both times.
No, it's not that they would duck each other, fight each other. It's that Mayweather would duck Pacquiao. That's what it was.
And Pacquiao would duck Mayweather. It was the stipulations.
He always wanted to fight Mayweather.
It was the stipulations and the money.
Yeah, you're right. It was the stipulations, but Mayweather. I think as the champion, as the guy that's undefeated, you're the guy that's ducking. I'm just waiting for the McGregor to come out of retirement fight. That's happening at some point this year, I think. I don't think Paramount
in the UFC.
Yeah, I don't think Paramount Plus is advertising him as much as they are. Like, if I get a Paramount Plus ad when I'm just scrolling through Instagram, it's McGregor. I'm like that. It wouldn't be McGregor unless they had a really strong inclination that he was going to fight this year.
There you go.
In the White House on the 4th of July.
That would be.
And
insane.
he can make his case as to why he should be the Prime Minister of Ireland.
Yeah, because winning a fight would definitely be. Yeah, we got to elect him.
Yep.
You know what? We got to elect him. Speaking of that, State of the Union tonight. That's not really the story, but the men's hockey team has been invited. No one knows if they're going to be there, and it would not make sense for them to be there because there's limited space in the Chamber of Congress. Olympic hockey women's team will not be there. A lot of clickbait going around that I was like, they're rejecting it. Their statement, due to the timing and previously scheduled academic and professional commitments following the games, the athletes are unable to participate. They were honored to be included and grateful for the acknowledgement because ESPN got me with some rage bait. It was like, women's hockey, this was on Instagram. Women's hockey declines it. And then you scroll, and it was that statement. It's like, okay, maybe they did, but at least how it publicly came across.
Good PR report.
Yeah, it's a perfect public relations statement. Now, it's worth noting, both teams did not fly back Sunday. They flew back into Miami on Monday because of the snow in the Northeast. I read in the ESPN article today, too. Women flew commercially. Can't get them on a charter, man. They want a freaking gold medal. I don't know who in the Olympic Committee for the United States has to conduct that, but the United States women should not have flown commercially. Put them on a dang charter. They won the gold against Canada.
I'm with you.
Same thing with the men, and they were chartered in. But everyone thinks, the men are going to be there. There's no accommodations for them right now, so who knows? Maybe Quinn Hughes will just take over the mic at some point, or Jack Hughes. But that's the latest from that, and they should go on a media tour. It's kind of tough too.
Is Cash Patel going to be there?
I don't know. At the State of the Union, probably not. But the NHL starts back up on Thursday, and the Professional Women's Hockey League starts up on Wednesday. So they don't really have that time to what?
Nothing.
What was that reaction? Did something happen?
No.
Oh, resumes action. So, from that turnaround, kind of nuts. But that's going to be part of their media tour.
Where does the Professional Women's Hockey League play?
In America.
Really?
Yes.
Like what cities?
He's doing a bit.
I'm not doing a bit. I'm genuinely asking you.
And New York has a team. Boston. I think Philly does.
So it's like an East Coast thing?
Basically. I mean, there's definitely one in Minnesota. Hold on, let me get there's 8 teams. Boston, Minnesota, Montreal, New York, Ottawa, Seattle, Toronto, Vancouver.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought Philly had one. So there you go.
I didn't know of this league.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's at least locally on MSG in New York, RSN-wise, but yeah. Not
They play in MSG?
They've played a game in MSG. They sold out MSG. The Sirens and somebody else sold out Madison Square Garden. Yeah,
Good
pretty
for
cool,
them.
right? Yeah. That's the Mid-Morning
I agree,
Catch,
though.
man.
Get them on a first class flight.
Yeah,
or
I couldn't
something.
I couldn't
That's
believe
crazy.
when I read that. Like I understand like if the PWHL was kind of conducting it, but it's
Sure.
the Olympics. Like they all should be on a charter as a group, flying commercially with, unless I guess it was a commercial flight with all the Olympians, but like come on, they won the gold. Well, the athletes that didn't win, you could put them commercial, you know what I'm saying?
989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mint here on a Tuesday. Hey, your dream lawn, I'm starting to see some grass outside. There's a lot of grass outside. This summer, Cervinsky sod can literally roll out your perfect lawn. Top quality sod that turns patchy yards into backyard showstoppers, and they've been doing it for over 50 years, which means they're experts. Whether you're fixing a rough spot or redoing your whole yard, Cervinsky delivers lush, green perfection. Fast, friendly, and farm fresh because your grass should be greener right now. Don't settle for a bland yard. Increase the value of your home and get the lawn your neighbors will envy with Cervinsky sod.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It's the 11 o'clock hour, presented by Yiter Insurance. We got some good news right before the show started. Well, I guess in some people's mind, it wouldn't be good news. I think it's good news. The Lions were due for it at some point anyway, but the news is that they're heading over to Germany to play an international game. It's the first time that they're playing overseas in an international game since 2015, where they played back-to-back games over in London. Once against the Chiefs, loss. Once against the Falcons, win, 14-15. So they're back going over to Europe, this time against, well, we don't know who it's against, but it's in Germany because of the Amon-Ra ties. I think this is awesome coming off of what we saw for Team USA on Sunday, where it was a morning game. I think that made it super special, a game that you had to set the alarm for, get up, you make these special plans. It is a once-in-a-year type of event. Like, hey, USA Hockey's playing. Well, really, it's a once every 4 years type of event. Hey, USA Hockey's playing. It's in the morning. Let's get up. Let's make some plans. I think this is a very similar thing for the Lions because I don't expect them to play another overseas game for a couple of years. So this is a once in a, not a lifetime, but a once in a very long time type of situation. So it does become like a, hey, what are we going to do for the week 7, week 9, whatever it ends up being, morning game in Germany where the Lions get an extension of their home crowd over in Germany. I think they're going to get a tremendous amount of support because of what Amon-Ra's done over there growing up, his summers over there, his mom being from there. I'm excited for this because I think I've anticipated it for a long time. I don't think it's a surprise for anyone who's been in the loop that the Lions are going to be playing here in Germany. I thought it'd be last year. It ends up being this year. But I'm excited for it just from a simply, like, it's a shakeup in the routine. So often it's 1 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's the Sunday night game. This is something we haven't experienced in 10 years. It's something the Lions have never experienced when we're any good. So I'm excited to wake up early and watch some Detroit Lions football in the AM. I know not everyone agrees. I just think the morning football is fun to me.
Yeah, I would definitely love, 998376125, more perspective on this through the text line. But, I'm for it. I don't like when my team's on the 9 a.m. games. Again, it's not the end of the world, and you could kind of make it special. It's going to be just a one-off. I'd rather my games be at 1, 4, 8 on Sundays, Monday. If it comes at my team not being on one of those primetime slots, like, we got, you're in the Germany game, you're in the London game. Yeah, I'm good. But just because it's been a while. I mean, when was the last Lions international game?
Did you not listen to anything I just said? 2015.
You just said that?
Like 2 minutes ago.
I wasn't listening.
Thanks.
So 2015, that's wild. It's a decade.
They've only had 2 ever. They had one against the Atlanta Falcons in London in 2014.
You said that too?
Yes, and then I said they had one against the Chiefs in 2015, a game they lost. They beat the Atlanta team, both in London.
Yeah.
You don't remember.
And you have fond memories of those games?
No, I don't remember anything from those games, to be honest. That was before I was like a psychopath with the Lions. Yeah. I became a psychopath with the Lions when they hired Dan Campbell, I think. I was like, this guy's going to bite kneecaps? I'm in. I was a fan before. That's when I started a little Lions podcast on my own and started doing all the things that ended up getting me this job. Mm-hmm. I owe it to them. Wow. Really, when you think about it.
Thank you, Brad Holmes. Thank you, Dan Campbell.
Yeah, thanks for being interesting and
there you go.
And letting me be a nerd about it.
Wow.
I don't remember any of the London or the 2 London games.
Like my perspective, I understand it. I understand going over to Germany, grow the game. I do like the angle that we talked about in the opening segment, the 9 o'clock hour, if you missed it. The fact that, all right, Amon-Ra, the German ties, the fact that maybe there's this Lions subsection of fans there that root for them, and that could be really cool. And that it's kind of an untapped market for claiming a team. We talked about Jacksonville is kind of claimed by London in a way, especially because Jacksonville doesn't have much of a fan base in the States. Germany can be the extension of the Lions, and it just be the biggest I don't know what the biggest international the non-American country would be for Lions fandom. I wouldn't know it from Giants fandom either. Tap into that German market when especially you have a player could be really cool, and it'd be cool to get a win.
I think they're going to have a tremendous home crowd there. I don't even think it matters who they necessarily play. I think the Germany fans at least from the Lions social media pages, which is probably a little bias. I think they've completely adopted this Lions team because of St. Brown, and because of that, I think you made a really good point that these fans over in Germany or fill in the blank European country that do watch consistently, like they are diehard fans because they have to, change their schedules and because of the time zones, like stay up late or get up really early to watch these Lions games. I think we're gonna get a super passionate fan base. Unlike, I'm not saying the London or the Munich, wherever else the games have been played.
Munich, man.
Munich.
It's a big city, man.
I'm not sure any of these other teams have embraced the team the way that the Lions, I think, are going to be embraced over in Germany. Thank you to Mama St. Brown.
Thank you, Mama Brown.
Yeah, that's where the St. Brown gets his heritage from. So I think it's awesome that they're going to be heading over there. And I don't mean to be just the guy who's like, oh, everything the Lions would do are awesome, because I don't think that. But
That's not the Lions doing it either. It's the league.
Yeah, it's the NFL and the Lions embracing it and leading into it. And I think it's fun for all the players who get to go spend a week there. I'm jealous. I wish I could go. We're
sending you, Ben. We're sending you.
You say that. Don't get my hopes up like that. I'd be excited to go over.
We have to just.
I've never been to a foreign country other than Canada, which doesn't count.
A little more money in the budget, and we'll get you there, We'll work some things around.
What do you think we'd realistically need to do that? Media pass so the game gets into for free, but travel, hotel.
I mean, you're talking in the thousands, right? Like,
we could do it.
we're not putting you in a good hotel.
No,
you're
I'm
definitely
not
gonna be
asking for one.
I mean, you might be in just like we just find like a host family or something, like Germans that are willing. But like that's what maybe we find some German.
I'm
fans.
actually roommates with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Well, that would
all
be
three of
sweet.
us are going to scheme up the next 3 years.
You know who your in is, honestly? Your boy Risden. Room with him.
I'd be curious to see if they're if how much of the media is going to be going.
Yeah.
Because they don't always travel to every away game, even in the States. They'd have to kind of make it a thing to go overseas.
Hopefully, Huge is banned from Germany. That's my hope. No. I
What
don't
did you
know.
just say?
No, what? No, come on.
Germany's
just like, nah, we're good.
We got a text that said, when the Lions played in London, I was living in Denver at the time. I remember, if I remember right, that game was at 7 a.m. for us Mountain Time, and it was actually a blast. I had a whole football brunch, day drinking party. Side note, Mountain Time is the best time for watching sports. Could be true. Because the West Coast is like, the Super Bowl starts at 3:30. Like, that's just kind of a little early. The Mountain Time, he might be onto something. The Mountain Time, 7 a.m. is early, but it's not like that 6 a.m. start if you're in the West Coast.
No, Mountain Time's great.
To this person's point, though, like him remembering it and being awake at 7 o'clock and having a big brunch and party like in the morning, like it just makes it a really unique event that you can put on for yourself and for friends, and you can do something special with your friends and family on a game like that. So I'm excited for the Lions playing at 9. And it's not 7, it's 9. So, like, I don't know, wake up at 8 o'clock, wake up at 7:30, and start making breakfast and have everyone over for a giant breakfast and make some mimosas. It'll be awesome.
Big mimosa guy. I was going to mention this with the segment, too, is like what would be the go-to drink at that hour.
A mimosa.
But, you had the mimosas with the hockey game, so I think that's your go-to now.
The mimosa's an elite play, especially when you can't even taste the alcohol and it just tastes like orange juice, but then it gets you feeling all warm and fuzzy for the rest of the day. That's a good feeling.
You can kind of count Sunday as that, but when was the last time you went to brunch? Is it recent?
I love brunch.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while since I went to brunch, I would say. Usually I'm a breakfast. I try to not go out to eat for breakfast these days. I'm a get lunch, get dinner type of guy, but usually I try to make breakfast at home. I make a pretty mean bagel sandwich, John.
I've heard. None for us, though. None for us.
No, that would require like a toaster in here, bagels.
We got a toaster. We got a microwave.
Remember when Sarah's brought us a spread of bagels? That was funny.
Dude, she brought us a spread of cupcakes
great.
today.
Happy
'Cause
birthday,
it's her
Sarah.
birthday.
Yeah, I'm going to have a cupcake during this commercial break.
Yeah,
And then
me
we're
too.
going to come back and do our lock of the day, make some money, and our last tradition is guessing what the next host is going to open with. So we'll take a quick time out. We'll be right back. We'll close out the show. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on The Mint.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mint.
with that number 1 pick as my lead for Colin today.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you basically pulled that out of, just basically being breaking news. I just don't know if that's his lead because of how recent it broke, but I just don't have anything better. I wish I could just go Caleb Williams or LeBron. I'll just go NBA. Maybe he does talk Wemby. That'll be I just got nothing. Crosby is at least something NFL-wise. It's just a tough day for like national. There just isn't anything that's bringing you to the radio, bringing you.
I think
to
it
the
might
dance.
be. I think it's
that's
some
not an
combine
overextension,
stuff.
but like that. If he opens at the combine, like you're rolling your eyes. I don't care. Like, what could it be? Oh, this prospect should do this. What's the Cowboys angle? Cowboys don't draft in the top 10. Like I just nothing moving me.
Do you think it's
for
this
that.
new sandwich from McDonald's that's coming to
What
the
is that?
States? It's like this. It's apparently the biggest burger that any fast food place sells. It's just big double stacked burger. I don't really know anything about it, but I saw it as I was scrolling Instagram on one of the breaks that there's a big burger coming to McDonald's.
Really?
Do you think he leads with that?
No.
I feel like
But
that's something you might get.
The big bit. Well, you gotta try it. Well, remember something. I don't know if you know this. There used to be
I might.
something called supersize in this country.
Yeah, I've seen the doc.
You have seen it. Okay, so that that used to be it used to be like, oh, let's just get as much food as possible, and then I was like, all right, well, it's actually bad for you now. And
Yeah,
now
it only took a documentary of someone gaining like 160 pounds in 2 weeks to figure out that stuff might have been bad for
well,
you.
it's convenient, it's fast, and now like we pretend we're in a health kick in this country, which we kind of are to an extent, but we are still an affordability crisis. So it's like, if you're giving me how much protein in a McDonald's burger for how much cost wise, like the problem with fast food now, the cost doesn't.
Yeah, tell me.
The cost. Well, this is what I'm doing. The cost doesn't outweigh like the unhealthiness. Like it used to be like, okay, it's still cheaper, but I'll go to a fast food joint. I know it's unhealthy, but I'm gonna save a little and I need something quick. Now with
just
burrito
cheaper.
bowls that are healthy, smoothie places that are healthy, I can get the fast food, pay a little more still, but not egregiously more. And it's kind of, taking the fast food model down a bit. And why they're kind of like, oh, shoot, like we're Mickey D's, we got to introduce something new.
Yeah, we got to do a big ass burger.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly. Like, they should be the one thing that, like, never changes. Like, no, we're just going to keep rocking with our menu because we serve billions and billions. But it's like, nah, now we'll go eat healthier. Or just not eat at all at your place because it's too expensive. I'm just waiting for one of these places to just drop the prices, and
That's not happening.
It'd be nice. Like do what the Atlanta Falcons did. Do you know what the Atlanta Falcons did?
Tell me, I know they added a Chick-fil-A in their stadium just
They
to
did
play every
that.
Sunday
They
and
also-
not be open.
They also just made all the food very affordable, and guess what? The profitability's still there because people usually do in NFL games. Oh, I'll tailgate and not buy anything in stadium. You're a sucker especially in an NFL game.
Oh, it's
if
the
you buy
worst.
food
Or a
at an
beer.
NFL game
or a beer
yeah.
or anything. It's just
Like-
the most overpriced nonsense.
I
ever.
could see beer, like needing one if you didn't tailgate. If you go to a 9 a.m. game,
It's like
in Germany.
$13
But
for
yeah,
a little beer.
yeah, like that's the worst of it. So, but okay, maybe I will get something if it's kind of affordable instead of just not even going to it. And if you look at Atlanta's profit margins, it works. But hey, I wasn't a business major, Ben.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
I looked down upon. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you looked down upon.
No,
them,
my
huh?
roommates were business majors, and they were broadcasting. Oh,
Well, it's funny
classes
because we
seem
both
really easy. I
business
don't know. Here's
majors.
what I'm doing.
I got along with business majors at Ithaca because we both just didn't do anything. Like I didn't do anything, and they didn't do anything. Like they pretended to trade stocks, and I pretended to call games, and we kind of got along.
You
that
actually
way.
did call games.
Yeah, I guess D3, but like yeah, I got better, and they were just big drinkers,
Yes.
big alcoholics. You'd be like, oh yeah, business major.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what are you
And
doing
nothing wrong
tonight?
with that.
What are you
Nothing wrong
doing
with that.
tonight? Well, it's Tuesday, so I'm going to boot night.
Oh,
Oh.
dude, wait, Tuesday. Go to boot night.
What about tomorrow? What are you doing? Well, it's mug night at this place.
Well,
Oh,
what's
okay.
boot night? I've heard of mug night. What's boot night? You fill up a boot?
Yeah. Well, that's a Wednesday thing in New Holland and Grand Rapids, which you and
Oh,
I
you
attended.
took me to a boot.
did.
You did. Yeah. I know what that is.
I meant
I
to
thought
say
you were
mug
thinking
night.
CMU.
I
I was
meant to
like-
say mug night over at
Okay.
CMU, but boot night came out of my mouth,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
a great night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big ass boot.
Big ass boo.
Yeah.
Man, when West Michigan, I wish the Loons played West Michigan more than just once in April when it's going to be freezing, because we would get a big ass burger and a boot on like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to go when it's freezing. It sucks.
There's not a Grand Rapids game
No,
later on in the
dude.
year?
No.
What do you
we
mean?
go there once this year. I'm dead serious.
What?
The first series of the year in April, and
And
they
then
come
not
to us,
again?
and then we don't go again. I know it sucks.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was what it has been happening with Lansing.
That's a shame.
Lansing was usually an April or May trip, and then we never went back. Unfortunately.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right, we're going to do this all again tomorrow. Should be some updated stuff after Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have their press conferences. We should know a little bit more about, hopefully some reporters ask a little bit more about the draft, Taylor Decker updates, Graham Glasgow being cut. I hope some reporter today is just like, when are you going to cut Graham Glasgow? Just straight up ask him, because that guy shouldn't be on the roster anymore. Then somebody big enough chest should do it with Taylor Decker. I don't think he should be on the team next year regardless. So hopefully we have some awesome updates for you guys tomorrow about that. All right, that was the Ben Bosscher Show. Hope it was fun. Hope it was worth watching today. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Like on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube so you don't forget it.